and we are bumbling about looking for wonderful animals. Elephants are definitely going to be on the cards today. Can't say no to a couple of those guys. But look, see, now you're going to get treated, because I'm going to show you animals on the pre-drive. We've got some Weichenschwein, warthogs. Hello guys. There they are. Mom and the little piggies. This is wonderful. Very, very happy to be feeding on this delicious grass, aren't you? Just in case we don't see any warthogs a little bit later, I thought that I would just give you a little sneak peek right now, so that you can have a look at the little sausages and see how much they are growing. They're not quite sausages anymore. They've sort of like bratwurst. They've definitely swollen in size from all of Mother's lovely milk and of course all this lovely fresh grass which they've been feeding on. They're pork sausages now, maybe as well. They could be pork sausages. But lovely. Eating away. Nom nom nom. Okay, let's carry on. We're going to go searching for elephants. We'll probably try and come back here. Maybe we'll actually just do a loop. We'll just do a quick loopy-dee-loop. And then we'll come back and have a look at the warthogs a little bit later. I'm sure they'll still be around. Oh my gosh. We're going to have a day filled with elephants today, which I'm hope you're all excited for, because I'm definitely excited for a day filled with elephants. It's hot. We've had lots and lots of elephants around the last few days, and it's the most gorgeous day. Not a breath of wind, just when we're driving, a little bit of a breeze, but it's lovely. Winter is here. Winter is here, and I'm so excited. The days are not ridiculously hot. The mornings and evenings are a bit chilly, and this is just the perfect temperature. I'm so excited for winter. I love winter. Love summer-ish. Not really. I'm not a fan of summer. It gets too hot. Hi, Impala. Loads of Impala too. Tonight might be the night that we get our Impala silhouetted against the sun, maybe leaping and bounding. That would be wonderful. Could be the day. They just need to move a little bit further west. So we shall try a lot of different things. And then Shongile, who was seen this morning, look at her most likely a little bit later. I think go there now because we shall wait until she wakes up, which is later. And it's so exciting. Everybody's drawn their thumbs, but you can't see my thumb yet. I'll show you when we start the show. We've got to keep Brian's traditions alive. But it's a very, very sad day today because it is the killer bees. So Brian and Brent's last safari together for now, which is very, very sad. So we're reminiscing. Well, we will reminisce over the years to come about Brian and his thumb. So today is, what is it, Kirst? Is it International Thumb Day today? So we've all got thumbs on, which is quite cool. Yes, Kirst has confirmed it. The Queen, that's the other Queen. That's the Queen of the DRC. So you have Karula, who is the Queen of Djuma, and then you have Kirst, who is the director, capital THE, and she's then also the Queen of the DRC where we live. Ah, Kirsty, naughty. Naughty, naughty, naughty. But we're also going to check some mud wallows. We're just bumbling around at the moment. I'm sure we're going to see lots of birds, and I told Brent if I see any really cool birds, we'll try and hold them down in that spot so he can come racing home to tick them off of his list. He's desperate. This is his last drive, I think, this afternoon. He goes on holiday, so he needs to desperately get all of the birds. He needs to get to 100. He set himself quite a challenge. Right, we're coming down now to the end of pre-show. That's alright, because it means that the real thing's about to start. So I'm just going to sit quietly now and enjoy the beautiful scenery.
This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, we've got some great grey behemoths on a very special safari today. It is the Killer Bees' last drive together. This is Safari Live.
Ready.
Standing by.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are live, you are live.
Welcome to a very special, very sad sunset safari on Saturday afternoon here in the Greater Kruger National Park. My name is Brent, and of course I have my very good friend Brian. How do I do this, Brian? There we go, there we go. Oh, there we go. And together we are known as the Killer Bees. And it's very sad because it's our last drive together. And of course we're going to discuss this a bit more at Fireside Chat, but let's enjoy the elephants. Hashtag Safari Live if you want to get a hold of us, ask us any questions. Here comes a young bull, probably around 20 or so, following the breeding herd. Let me go back. Now, we have discussed what we want to see. Don't get cheeky behind me. What we want to see today, and of course Brian hasn't seen a cheetah in over a year. No. So we're going to go try and use a bit of that Killer Bee magic. What's he doing? I can't see him. Cheeky little thing. You'll get a stern talking to. You misbehave with me, mister. There we go. Well, there we go. Everyone very, very sad that Bebop, Brian, and of course the real brain behind the whole thing, the thumb, are going to be leaving us. It is very, very sad indeed. So I said we're going to head down to Cheetah Plains. We're going to try and find some cheetah. We're also going to try and find some birds. I've left myself a bit short. Yes, hello. Yeah, you're very scary. What are you going to do? Yeah? Well, now what? Feeling nice and brave because he's got a fallen tree between him and us. Yes, you showed us. You were very scary. I do love elephants. Okay, well, we're going to turn around and keep heading towards the east, towards Cheetah Plains, see what wonders await. And while we do that, we're going to go see Tristan, who's trying to steal a bit of my feathered thunder.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Safari Live Sunset Safari. Now, it is a special day. We're all posing for Brian for his thumb, so all of us have thumbs on. I have a little leopard thumb this afternoon. Craig, what have you got? What is it?
I'm not even sure.
You're not even sure what it is. Craig's not sure what he did. That's the mystery of Batman. He's very unsure about most things. Now, we were trying to find your bird, considering that we are trying to carry on with our birding list, and there was a beautiful Rhett's helmet shrike that was sitting very close to us, but as these things go, the bird flew off as we went live, which is how it often happens. So, we're going to carry on and try and see what else we can find. The birding is what like that. You've often got to just get the camera on them quite quickly and then hope that they don't fly away. Now, our plan for this afternoon is, it's gotten very warm after this morning where it was very cold and very windy. It's a lot warmer this afternoon and the wind seems to have died. So I think what we're going to do is going to go look around for any signs of insects. It should be a good afternoon for a multitude of insects after this cooler weather and the bit of moisture we've had from the rain previously in the week, should I say. There should be quite an explosion of insects out this afternoon. So I'm hoping to see if I can find lots of little critters. So we're going to go look around for those, and then hopefully we'll see any other signs of some general game out in the open areas and see if we can find anything there. So that's going to be our plan for this afternoon. Obviously, with this weather, I would imagine a lot of elephants would be out as well. So hopefully we'll see some of them too, or some signs of them. That would be quite nice. And then obviously we're going to try and catch up with the birding and try and get past Brent. At this stage, it's going to be quite difficult. I think he's still way out in the lead. I'm not sure if anybody's actually got a count or has sent through a count. So if Nev, if you're watching, maybe you've kept a spreadsheet for this month and you can let us know how far ahead Brent is for this month so far. Now, I actually forgot completely this morning that the challenge between Taylor and myself started. Given that she wasn't on drive, I completely forgot that we were doing it. So I'll have to catch up this afternoon and start this afternoon and see if we can see who actually wins that one. Alright, now talking of Taylor and what she's got, she doesn't have a feathered friend, but she does have a rather beautiful animal.
Hello everybody and welcome. We had a kudu. It's now hiding right behind the bushes, but we'll get back to it. My name is Taylor and on camera with me this afternoon is Herman. And well, as everybody's been showing you, we've got some thumbs. So I suppose I better show you mine. Hey, look at mine. Hello, thumb, thumb, thumb. You can zoom in if you like to come a little bit closer. There we go. That is Gregory's brother. Cursed is it Zombie Gregory? It's not Zombie Gregory, it's a little bit faded, but I think that's from my hand lotion. I may have wiped away some of the color. Not, well, it doesn't last forever, sadly. But yes, it's a very, very happy little baby Gregory thumb. Right, now where's our friend the kudu? Where is the kudu gone? Let's try and find it. There's lots of impala. We're back on quarantine again, so we might go visit those warthogs. We'll show, here is the kudu. He's beautiful. He's going to come out of the bushes as well. It's been a long time since I've seen a kudu bull. Either we've just kept missing them well, they've been hiding away in the long grass and the thick vegetation. Otherwise, they've been elsewhere. But at least they're back, and there was a quick glimpse of one, of course. And some impala. Hello, impalas. Plenty of them around. We've even got an impala on the other side that is standing on a termite mound. Look at that one. There were actually a couple up there just a moment ago. All the little lambs were following that female and climbing about it too, just scanning their surroundings. And luckily for them, it's fairly open out here, so they are able to see a lot easier than some of those other denser areas, or where the grass is taller than the tip of my head. Now, we are on a live safari if you have just tuned in, and we're very happy to have you on this hot, beautiful afternoon. You can hashtag safariLIVE with all of your questions if you have anything for us, or if you've got any cool screenshots, please do. Please send them to us. What are we going to do? We're going to look for elephants. Hopefully we find some elephants. I know Brent just had ellies, but I'd like to see some splashing around. And earlier today I saw quite a large herd of elephants. So we'll see if we can find them. And that's herd specifically I'd like to find, because I saw 4 tiny little babies. And I saw Daryl again. I saw Daryl in between game drives, which was so exciting. I've completely forgot England track. We'll go there because that's when he was having a siesta under a marula tree, and so hopefully we get a view of him. And he wasn't so cranky like he was cranky last night either. He was not very happy with us, but I don't blame him. It was night time and he was marching along the road, but perhaps with this heat he would have slowed down a little bit today. So we'll go and look for Daryl the elephant. Andrea, you're wondering who Gregory is? Gregory is a camp tortoise. She is the camp tortoise. Let me start from the beginning. Once there was no, I'm not going to do that, but Gregory is a Speaks hinged tortoise that has decided to live in camp. It lives under Eggsy's house, and it's got like this little cave that it goes into, and we just found her there the one day. We saw her coming out. So she's probably been living there for a long time, but we just haven't noticed. Anyway, so she lives under Eggsy's house, and she comes out and harasses us every single day. She's become so used to people now, she doesn't mind us so much. So she'll come around the table and she nibbles on your toes and she tries to bite your fingers. She's very strange. And then also you're probably thinking, but Gregory is a boy's name, Taylor, and I know this, but we were sitting in camp one day at breakfast when this tortoise came rocking up, and I can't even remember who spotted it. And then, of course, because we name everything, Eggsy actually spotted. Oh, there we go. Thanks, Chris. So Eggsy spotted the tortoise and announced that there was a tortoise coming to camp. And somebody said, "What's its name?" And the answer was Gregory. I then went to check if it was a girl or a boy, and it turns out that Gregory is, well, girl. So, but it's not the weirdest name I've ever heard before. So that is our tortoise that comes to visit us, and she came late today. She only came at lunchtime, which is unusual. You know, but we got to keep tabs on this tortoise because she gets a bit out of hand sometimes. You know, sometimes we don't see her for 2 or 3 days, and then she comes in really late in the afternoon. You know, I don't know where tortoises go to go out. Perhaps she was on a date. Maybe she was on a romantic weekend away. All I'm really hoping for is that Gregory lays eggs in camp. That would be really cool to see. But yes, that is our tortoise. One day we'll get Gregory. Gregory will be like quite close to camp. I'm sure she goes wandering around quite far away. One day we'll catch her. And I've forgotten that we're doing a bird challenge with Tristan. And I've just seen a black-back puffback. Let's see if we can get it again. This is a tricky one, so that's why I want to actually stop and put it on the list now. I can hear. It's flown behind us. I can see it. Let me keep going back. There. So, Hadman, can you see it jumping up on the top of that tree? Got to go up a little bit higher. Up. It's somewhere in there. There it is. We've got it. Number 1. Black back, puff back. 1 for us. Tristan, good luck getting this one because they're sneaky birds and they never sit still. You can see it's chirping away. And there it goes. And off it goes very, very quickly. And then, I don't know, Kirst, do you think we should change this up? We always have bird competitions, but should we go, for every bird that we find, we need to imitate their bird call? What do you think about that, Kirst? Okay, so there you go, Tristan. There's a little twist to our challenge now, just to make it a little bit more interesting, is that for every bird we find, we've got to imitate their bird call, otherwise it doesn't count. So here goes my black-back, puff-back call. How's that? You've got a kingfisher now, just in this tree. Jamie says that was a good call. Can you just see? I'm just going to go forward a little bit, just on that horizontal. Let's see if we can get it again. He's going to land up top. It'll be a far one, but we're going to get a woodland kingfisher straight in. You've on the money. Well done, Hadman. Here we go. Woodland kingfisher. It's a silhouetted one, but you just have to take my word. So that's 2 for us. I suppose I have to keep a tab on how many birds I get. Hey, I'll write them all down so we make sure we don't get doubles of them. And oh my goodness, the call for this one, I can't do it. It's too difficult. I'll have to practice. Okay, wait, should we play the call once? So let me play the call once so that I can just hear it and get an idea, because obviously we know the call because it's all we've been hearing for the last few days. Volume on. We've got to go to K for kingfisher. And then, where is the woodland? Right. I'm getting inspiration. Ooh. Okay, I think I've got him. Woodland kingfisher done. Next bird. Let's go. We're on the money today. Hadman's getting them. He's doing a sterling job. What's going to be the next bird? Come on, grey, African grey, go away bird. Go away bird, just a go away bird is fine. Let's look for one of those. Tristan's now having a go at me and saying that I can't go back and listen to the call to refresh my memory or get inspiration. I'm objecting. I'm not listening to that one. I'm just, because sometimes you don't know. There's different types of calls the bird could do. So we're going to keep on searching for birds. It doesn't look like we're having much more luck over here. Perhaps I scared them away with my horrendous woodland kingfisher call. But speaking of the man that I'll be challenging, Tristan, he's now got his head stuck in the sand.
Indeed we do, and we're not ostriches, so at least I don't have to make the call of an ostrich, which would be quite something, I think. But I think this is going to be a very interesting few days of trying to replicate calls of birds, but it should be highly entertaining, so I'll take up the challenge, Taylor. But I think we should be doing it without having to look at the call or listen to the call first. That will be more entertaining than the others. So we've got a couple of tracks here, and we thought we would do a little quiz to see if anybody knows what track this is. Now, I'm going to put my finger down so that you can all see. Sorry, I'm trying not to get a shadow, so you can see the size of this track. So anybody that wants to hazard a guess, you can send your answers through to safariLIVE on Twitter, so you can use the hashtag safariLIVE. And there's another track, so we're going to do that one, and we're going to do this one, which is a slightly different track. It looks quite similar, but there is a slight difference. So I'm going to put my finger down next to this one too, so that you can get a nice size chart of what they are. So this is the other one, so this is track number 2, and that one is track number 1. So remember, you can send your answers through to safariLIVE. Now, we were talking about Gregory earlier, and it looks like Gregory might have come through here as well, because there's the telltale signs of Gregory on the prowl. Now, while we were having lunch, Gregory appeared and decided that it was time to nibble everyone's toes while they're having lunch. So James got a nibble, I did, David, and as well as I think it was Kirsty also got a nibble when she was trying to look at Gregory. So a few people had little nibbles from Gregory. So I wonder if, and Anwar as well. Anwar had Gregory the most, I think. And I think Gregory maybe has started to turn a little bit rabid. No, I'm joking. Gregory is not rabid. She's just hungry. But it was quite funny to see people busy eating and then little yelps as their little toes got nibbled on. It was very, very funny. So Gregory has decided she's taken a liking to biting toes and biting people. Now, we've been looking around and it's all a little bit quiet at this stage. There's not too much happening, but it is a very warm afternoon. So as it starts to go a little bit cooler, so we should start to see more and more things coming out. David, you say hyena for which track? We need to know which track, number 1 or number 2 is the answer for which one. I will say that there is one of them is a hyena, but it just, you need to tell me which one you think is the hyena. So it's So Amelia, you say number 1 is lion and 2 is leopard. Now remember that number 1 is smaller than number 2. So number 2 is a slightly smaller number 2 is a slightly bigger track. So if it was lion and leopard, the lion would be a lot bigger than what the leopards would be. So it would be the other way around, but no, unfortunately not. Neither of them are lion or leopard. I'll give you a hint. If any of you were watching this morning's drive, then you'll know roughly what these are. It was a chaotic start to the morning trying to find them. I'm just having a little look around to try and see if there's any signs of anything. Often when we get up into these areas where there's a little bit more open, especially down towards Quarantine. So David, you say number 2 is a hyena. You are correct. It is indeed a hyena, much, much larger, and it had those little banana-shaped toes, which are very, very distinct. Now, like I say, I've been looking around, trying to see if I can see any signs of zebras or giraffe or impalas. They're often around this area under these big marula trees for shade, but so far, not very much. I'm also looking along the edges as we're walking, looking around for any signs of insects. Hopefully there'll be some spiders and some locusts about. There are 1 or 2 butterflies, but not too many at this stage. Now, so Steph, you say number 1 hyena, number 2 leopard. No, unfortunately that's also not right. Number 2 was the hyena, so you can see that number 1 is slightly smaller. So you're on the right track with hyenas, and maybe, like I say, if you want to go back to this morning, go onto YouTube and see what we were up to this morning, you might start getting it right. But It is smaller than the hyena, but it is a predator. I will give you that as a clue. Ah, Rebecca. Right, you have got it right. Number 1 was a wild dog. So it's not a track we see too often here because the wild dogs generally move quite quickly through here and we're often trying to race after them to get to them, but it was a wild dog. Now, there are some more tracks here for these wild dogs, so I'll point out and show you why exactly it is a wild dog. So if we have a look here, here is the track again of the dogs, and you can see that with the wild dogs they have almost a Christmas tree shape to them. So they have a very small base, which is the back pad, that is very flat at the back. It almost creates a straight line at the back, and then you have these toes that are all pulled together that make that little Christmas tree shape on the top. With a hyena or a lion or a leopard, the toes tend to be a little bit more sort of angled round, and then you get the pad that comes off the back. And remember, with the cats you would have had the 3 lobes at the back, whereas this is just straight. So it is a wild dog indeed. Well done, Rebecca. That is very good. And like I said earlier, that the hyena track had the banana shaped toes. So even though the back pad was not very visible and it was quite smudged, it was with a little banana shaped toe, and that's how you know. Right, so we're going to carry on and see what little things we can find on our walk. And while we do that, let's go across to Brent and see what he's up to on Cheetah Plains.
Well, of course, Taylor and Tristan have to do a bird challenge while I'm not here, because otherwise, what would happen to them, Brian?
They would lose.
They would lose, that is true. But okay, so I just got an update from Sinead. There were tracks of a cheetah this morning that crossed into Cheetah Plains around the Kruger Park boundary. So we're going to go have a look there. Of course, down in this area, there's always a great chance at seeing one of our favorite leopards, Mr. Q, as well as lots of good little birdies around here at the moment. So, and we've had, hang on a second. Not fresh though. Well, let's just have a quick look. Let's try to get them in the sun. Got them there, Brian. Let's have a look. Aha! This must be Madam Nkanyeni. They're not fresh though. Not fresh at all. I haven't been down here for a while. Hard, rock hard. So, Nkanyeni was here a while ago. Yeah, that's not fresh. That's from when that sand was still wet. Okay, well, she could still be around. I know Vutomi is pretty much independent, it seems now, and killed his own impala somewhere on to the north of us. I hear they're looking for him at the moment, but they've had no luck. So we could have all the leopards on Cheetah Plains today, and the cheetah, and a lion. Why not, Brian?
Oh, yes, please.
Now, since it is the Killer Bees' last drive together, we're going to tell a few stories, but before we do that, Taylor's got some buffalo.
We do have some buffalo and a different setting, not this time not sitting in the mud, but just standing in Treehouse Dam. And again, 2 beautiful big dugger boys. That's really all we're seeing at the moment. I don't know when I've seen a buffalo cow for a very, very long time. It was many, many, many moons ago, it feels as though, since we last saw a breeding herd. But they're staying nice and cool. And this little scene that we've got at the moment, just that reminds me so much of Zambia and all the different tributaries that come off of the Zambezi River, which is really quite amazing. And you'll see there's a lot of sort of water hyacinth, which is an invasive species, but it forms around there. It's this massive weed. And you'll always see the hippos and the buffalo sort of standing knee-deep, the equivalent of their knee-deep in the water, and then just regurgitating, keeping nice and cool, or grazing while they're in the water along the banks of the Zambezi River. But it was really, really amazing. I love this shot. There's another one at the back too. I've just spotted it. You can actually just see his horns. Look how he's hiding away. That one is now sitting in the... There we go. There's another 2. I can't see how many are there. No, I can just see one set of horns. So that's 3 buffalo, but did you see how camouflaged he is? Now, you wouldn't want to come around the corner and think, oh, okay, we've just got these 2 boys here, and then carry on walking and think you're safe, and bump into that chap at the back. Goodness gracious. But that just shows you, that's why we as guides are reluctant to walk in the long grass at the moment. Because with all the water around, and there could easily be some water in some of the long bits of grass, you'll definitely find yourself in a lot of trouble. Now, that buffalo in the middle, something got its attention. I don't know quite what, but we were following elephant tracks. That's what's actually led us to this dam. And hopefully we shall find them, because I think I've seen Daryl's tracks. I went to the spot where I last saw him, and then I saw he had a dust bath, and then I saw his tracks then walking west, following a breeding herd's tracks. And he was in must last night. He will definitely be in must this morning. We'll just have to watch him. If we do come across him, I hope we can find him. It will be so nice to show you him and during the day and just check how big he's got. But goodness gracious, that's a big buffalo that's walking to the other one that's mud wallowing. I wonder what's got him so startled. He's looking at us now, but initially he wasn't staring at us. He was staring away from us and raised his head slightly. So perhaps the elephants are just moving off into the distance and he was responding to them rustling through the bushes. But we shall make sure that Tristan doesn't come and bump into this lot, because that won't be very fun at all. And it is so lovely out here. Now, Herman is now learning about the flies as well. Luckily, we don't have a swarm of them at the moment, because they're on the buffalo, I'm sure. But we'll have to get him a guarri branch just now, because they get out of hand every now and then, and it's no fun. And hopefully, while we're around the animals, they would choose to go and sit on the animals rather than us. Right, let's carry on. Let's go and find these elephants. Now, David, I'm just trying to think. I don't want to go down there because I think I'm going to disturb them. So we won't. Let's just go back this way. We might get another view. David, you were wondering if bulls like this would fight. They would definitely. I'm just quickly going to reverse. All 3 of them are in lovely condition. They don't look like particularly old bulls either. The only thing is that there's no females to fight about. So typically they'll only start fighting if they're in a massive breeding herd, which will consist predominantly of females and calves. And there's definitely quite a few males in there, and then they'll have a tussle. But there's no point for them to fight. So they're actually really placid with each other. They've got each other's backs. They're looking around for predators, helping each other out. We might get a better view down here. Let's see. Yes, this is going to be quite nice. So now there's no competition. It's the same thing as when boys go out to the pub together. If it's just a boys' night, there's never any boxing. But as soon as you bring one girl in, there's a whole lot of trouble. Oh, look at that. That's lovely. This is actually a much better view. We're much closer. And you can just see how lush and green it is. See, they're all looking over in the distance. Something's got them a bit bothered. Like I said, they're not paying too much attention to us. I don't know what they've heard or seen or smelt. You can see that head slightly raised. I think I can hear something in the distance. I think it could be elephants. We'll have to go and investigate, of course. Boy, you're not in any hurry of getting out of that water, and I don't blame you. It must be quite lovely in there. So now the other 2 have moved off. And you can see he's looking at, obviously watching their movements. Very nervous. I'm here. Are you? You've basically made the most fantastic comment. You've said that these buffalo look like they're in great shape. They are indeed. Look how fat he is. Massive neck. All the power in the shoulders and on the rump. And then this is what I love about the summer months, is that they get a chance to fight back. I would love to see the Nkuhumas now taking down a fully fit buffalo bull. It's not going to find it that easy. They're going to fight back. We got lucky seeing them take down so many buffalo in the winter months. And the buffalo really just collapsed on the ground and didn't get up again. Whereas now, those lions better be careful. Those cubs are going to have to move out of the way. Otherwise, they're going to find themselves on the wrong end of a very angry buffalo's horns, or even underneath the hooves, which is not very good. And one interesting interesting to see because their encounters that they've had with buffalo, remember we had that unbelievable sighting that day where Byron had the lions taking down a buffalo. We had the lions, the pride, moving through, and they came across a dead buffalo that was infested with maggots. They left that because they heard the distress calls, and then we had that buffalo that had been jabbed by another buffalo's horns, and those cubs were climbing all over the top of it. We had another sighting where the youngsters were trying to bring down a calf in front of Vuyatela Lodge. So they have had many encounters with weak buffalo. They're not going to be able to do the same thing. They're really going to have to sit and hang back until the adults have taken control of a big bull like this. Larry, you're wondering how much females can weigh? Well, since we're looking at a big bull, these boys must be just under a ton. Just under about 2,500 pounds, I'd reckon, just with the condition that they're in at the moment. They're massive. But let's put it on about between 18 and 2,000 pounds would be the average weight of a buffalo. And a female is probably much less than that. I would say between about 1,200 pounds and 1,500 pounds, somewhere around there. So there's actually quite a difference, but it's quite hard to gauge because the last time I saw buffalo like this was down in Zambia, because when I arrived up in the Sabi Sand, unfortunately, there was very, very little grass even when I started. Remember, this drought had been going on for quite some time, and there was a little bit of grass after the small amount of rain we had, but it was ankle high, so the buffalo never got to this size. Oh, he's all going back into the water again, laying back down again. It's still staring at us. So these are massive boys. You wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of one of these boys. Like I said, the lions are now going to struggle. But hopefully the Nguhumas come back, because we've been seeing quite a few of these Duggar boys just popping up every now and then. And hopefully the breeding herds will return soon. I'm sure that they're still just north in the Manuleti or south of the Sand River down there. There have been some reports of the big herds of buffalo around the southwestern corner of the Sabi Sand. So maybe they're slowly making their way up here. But fantastic. So they've settled down again, but buffalo are quite nervous, especially when they are in small groups like this, these bachelor herds. It must be terrifying to all of a sudden go from living in a family group where there's, from anywhere from 50 to a couple of hundred to even a few thousand, and then just being left the three of you on your own. Imagine how terrifying that must be. So I don't blame them for being very nervous and reacting to any sight, sound, or smell that they may pick up. It's quite normal. But we're going to keep on searching for these elephants. I don't think we're too far behind them, and we're looking for Daryl, the big elephant bull, specifically. But I'm going to send you all the way across to Cheetah Plains to the killer bees.
Hello, welcome back to the Killer Bees on Cheetah Plains, looking for cheetah and birds and everything else in between. So Brian also requested a pangolin. Yes. he's making my life difficult today, the other member of the Killer Bees. So we are going to go drive past where the only pangolin that has ever been seen live on Drive was seen. And maybe we'll get some luck. It's also where the cheetah tracks apparently came into Cheetah Plains. It was right on the Kruger boundary here. Now I said, the Killer Bees, we've been quite lucky. Or it's one of those things, I don't know whether we're just good or lucky or both. I think it's a bit of both. So the first cheetah ever seen on Cheetah Plains was seen by
Killer Bees.
The first lion ever seen on Cheetah Plains. First leopard.
Killer Bee.
There we go. First cheetah being chased by leopard.
Oh, Killer Bees.
Killer Bees, yes. First corncrake.
Oh, Killer Bees.
Only corncrake. Now, this is the spot. I have found the pangolin's tracks in this area again since we've seen it. But unfortunately, he was going visiting the Kruger. Oof, this grass has got high. Now, of course, a cheetah could be lying in the shade in this grass somewhere close by, and we would not even spot it. Unless you're the Killer Bees.
Of course.
Serene says, Brian, you can't leave till you find a pangolin. Well, then I'm definitely not going to find a pangolin on purpose. always checking around here. So we're right on the boundary of the Kruger National Park. I just want to sneak forward to see if I can see any tracks. You know, we can't put our tire that side, otherwise big stick. Okay, there are the tracks over there, heading east. Well, let's hope they didn't head east too far. Now, we're doing a multi-purpose search because there's a little 2-track that runs parallel to the Kruger boundary that's barely visible. So we're looking for the cheetah, but we're also hoping to flush some birds. You never know what might be hiding in this grass. So this is where we saw the pangolin, right here. Or maybe we'll flush the pangolin. Wow. This grass has got a lot longer since I last drove down here. You can barely make out the road. So also a good spot, little bits of shade all around. The cheetah could easily have got lazy and decided to sleep around here. Now, we've sort of planned our drive out quite well, we think. So we're going to be down here, see what we can see. If we don't get any luck with what we're looking for here, we're going to go definitely have a little dalliance by the Cheetah Dam. And then towards the end, try see if we can catch up with little Shongololo, or Shongile, the leopard cub. Because it just wouldn't be the Killer Bees' last drive without at least one big cat, possibly more. So whenever I see in this area a fallen tree like that, I always just have a quick look. See if there's any fresh cheetah dung on it. This is one of their favorite spots to mark, but there's no dung on that one. It is a beautiful day though, absolutely gorgeous, and there's maybe 3 or 4 clouds, okay, maybe 5 or 6 clouds in the sky, but it is a very blue sky. There's a very chilly wind. So winter, I think, is upon us, and I know this is James Henry's favorite time of the year. He really likes the temperature in March and April. Oh, what have we got there? It looked like a little African pipit, or was it a lark? Oh, he's gone. I think it was African pipit. Could see the white outer wings. Oh, there's doves taking off everywhere. No cheetah in the shade of that quarry. No. What we can hope is the cheetah walks down the Kruger boundary and then turns the right towards the big open plains to the south. Oh, long grass. Come on, corncrake, pop out. Don't think it's quite marshy enough right here for the corncrake. They like inundated grasses. Hello, Vanessa in Los Angeles. Vanessa wants to know, how was the name the Killer Bees decided? Well, by the viewers. I think it was Chris Rogue, Brian. Yep. Chris Rogue nicknamed us the Killer Bees, and it sort of just stuck. So that's how we got the name. It was because we went through a patch where every cat or sighting was seen by Brian and myself. Shame. I remember, poor Scotty, we went on leave, and I think there hadn't been a leopard seen in like 3 weeks or something. And I joked around and said, what's wrong with you guys? I'll be back. I'll find a leopard today. No problem. And everyone was like, yeah. And then Brian and I went along. I was like, oh, those are fresh leopard tracks. Oh, that squirrel's alarming. Oh, there's a leopard. And Scott was a little bit mad. And that was Shaluva 2015. No, 14. What? Okay, so we're going to keep trying to follow these cheetah tracks at a distance. And while we do that, Tristan is with another creature that has wings but no feathers, just scales.
Indeed, Brent, and it's also part of the bee family, so we could suppose call it one of the killer bees as well. It is a beautiful monarch butterfly. Now, it is coming up to World Butterfly Day. We are going to be doing a whole day dedicated to butterflies on the 14th, but this is one of my favorite butterflies. They are absolutely beautiful. They've got these bright oranges and whites and then black markings on them. Now, the reason why they've got those oranges and blacks is to try and tell all the birds that are out here, so things like the rollers that we've been seeing, that they are toxic. They actually get a toxin when they are a caterpillar from a milkweed, and they then have that as an adult, and they are not able to be digested at all, and the birds then leave them alone. So it's called an aposematic coloration. Now, you notice it has little black spots on its wings. Now, those little black spots on the male house a very interesting substance that it uses when mating. It's basically what it does is it will go up and it finds a female, and it will take its legs and it combs those legs through those spots. And those spots are called androconia spots, and they contain a substance that they then sprinkle over the female, which acts a little bit like a sleeping drug. It makes these females basically fall asleep. It's called stupefying, and they then go and grab the female, and they will mate with her while she's unconscious and fly around, and you'll find the female hanging below the male, and they fly. He mates, and then he'll drop her back on a plant and fly off, and she'll then wake up and it will have been fertilized, which is quite incredible. Not a very nice way if you're a human, but for butterflies apparently it works really, really well. And it's the first real sign of butterflies that we've had. There's been one or two little ones. I'm just going to hold this bush for Craig to come through. You can come through, Craig. There's been a few little ones that have been flying around, but nothing major. I would have thought we would have had a lot more insects after the kind of weather we've had. I would have thought that in this warm, beautiful weather that we're having this afternoon, that we would have had an explosion of insects. Maybe tonight is what we need, is we need a bit of nocturnal pressure for the insects to come out. So at the moment it's still quite quiet. We've been looking around and we've been turning over bits of grass and looking on leaves to where all the normal spots are for spiders and insects, and so far very little. It's also probably because at the moment a lot of the plants are not flowering anymore, and that was the main attractant for a lot of these insects. So when we were seeing a lot of caterpillars was typically on the Waltheria plants. Now the Waltheria, most of them have stopped flowering, and so I've checked all the Waltherias that we've seen along the way. No more caterpillars on any of them. There's no more spiders because the caterpillars aren't around. Also, there's a lack of flying insects too. So the only thing we've actually seen quite a bit of as we've been moving around has been grasshoppers. They kind of explode out of the grass. Unfortunately, they are a little bit too fast sometimes. Now, it's quite interesting. We've just come into a section now. You can see the grass is quite long. Brent was talking about the grass on Cheetah Plains, and you can see here the grass is very, very long. But where I'm standing is a beautiful bare patch. So this would have been where something has been sleeping. So in all likelihood, something like a buffalo or maybe something like a rhino would have been sleeping in this area, and it squashed the grass completely, and it lay here for long enough that the grass has gone a bit dead. So you'll probably find it was buffalo that slept here a whole day. I actually did see buffalo very close to here yesterday afternoon, so probably them. So DCAS, talking about the monarch butterfly, you want to know whether they migrate like the American monarchs. They don't. They're not like that. They don't cross over across Africa to any part of South Africa and move from this area. They pretty much stay in the same place. So we see them all year round in this area. They don't migrate away or move anywhere, which is a bit of a shame, I'm afraid to say, because I would have loved to have seen monarchs in waves coming across the African bush. It would have been quite something. We do get one butterfly that does migrate called a brown-veined white, so we see them coming in these droves in early summer. So sometimes if you're on the escarpment areas, which is basically the Drakensberg and where the high areas come down into this low-lying bush plains that we have here, you'll find on those escarpments of the mountain, you'll find these clouds of this brown-veined white coming over. You can sometimes have thousands of them as they come down the mountain. It's very, very pretty to watch. It's like a big white cloud coming along. But alas, we don't see too many of them here. By the time they get here, they've dispersed slightly. and moved out. Now, when we're walking through areas like this, we've got to be quite careful. It is quite dense in here, and like I say, there is areas where it's been flattened, so maybe elephants or buffalo have been lying here, so we have to be a little bit careful and watch very, very carefully and listen very, very carefully. So that's why every now and then when I'm walking, just stopping a little bit just to listen out to make sure there's nothing around us. Now, the good thing is that the wind has stopped, and so much easier. Captain Orson, this is a very interesting question. So you're asking, while we're on bushwalk, we're inspecting all the trees and grasses, and why is it that we're not seeing chameleons on bushwalk? Well, it's been a very, very bad few years for chameleons. The lack of rain that we had and the drought that we had ended up in a situation where there was very little cover for chameleons, and so a lot of them would have been preyed upon by various snakes and birds, and so their numbers probably have declined slightly, and so we haven't seen too many of them. And I thought with the rain that we've gotten recently over the last few months, we would have been able to start to see chameleons coming out, but there's been very, very, very little activity with chameleons. They should be around. We should be able to find them. I know Brent has been looking for them a lot at night, and so have I, and unfortunately no such luck just yet, but they should be, and we should be able to find them. But the thing about a chameleon, especially during the day, is that it camouflages incredibly well. So only if you're right on top of that chameleon and you actually move a leaf and maybe the chameleon then moves that you spot it. So it's very difficult to spot them, but yes, you can see them. I have seen them crossing the road. In fact, when I came into Djuma on Friday, I saw one crossing a road. So they are around. It's just a matter of actually paying attention or stumbling upon one. But the numbers at the moment are very, very low. I'm sure it will recover as we go through into next summer, and we've had really good growth. Those are the ones that were born this year will be able to grow up, and we'll start to see them reproducing soon, and then next year we should start to see a lot more chameleons. But it's been something that's really been lacking this summer, and something we've really missed. They are such incredible little creatures, and to see them always makes my day. So I would love to find a chameleon, and definitely look out for them. Now, as we're going through here, we're having to be careful where we're walking, because there's quite a few trees with very, very sharp thorns on them that are not very pleasant on the legs. Luckily, Craig is wearing long pants, but in this weather I decided to go with shorts, and walking through thorns is not really the most pleasant thing. And you can actually see I've just pulled one out of my leg, so it almost looks like a little claw. You can see it there. So this is from a buffalo thorn, and as I was walking it hooked in and managed to get into my arm, so I need to be a little bit careful of the thorns as we go through here. Right, we're going to carry on and try and negotiate through this thicket and into a more open clearing where we can see what's going on. And while we do that, let's go across to Taylor and see how her bird challenge is going.
Not so well, unfortunately, Tristan. I'm just waiting for you to catch up. I don't know if you've even started just yet. Just tricks. No, we are going to get there, and I'm going to get another two birds right now up on this dead tree. You see them? There is a Cape Glossy starling on the left. And there's also a lilac-breasted roller. There they are. There's the starling on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side you can see the lilac-breasted roller. Whew. Now the calls. Of course Tristan's waiting for the calls. Now the starling call, if I can remember correctly, it's actually one of my favorite birds. They make a weird sound like that sometimes, the Cape Glossy starlings. And now for the roller call. I think that's the noise that a lilac-breasted roller makes. I don't know if they're any good, but we are going to try. So we've got another two more added to the lists there. Hang on, let me just quickly ask her. Kirst, is Jamie sitting in final control? Or has she left us now? Oh, she's gone. She's gone back. Oh no, oh no. So what Kirst is doing, I thought Jamie was perhaps still watching and having a good chuckle as I torture myself. But Kirst is keying the mic so that Tristan can hear exactly what noises I am making. I haven't had much luck with the elephants. I followed the tracks and they've crossed out onto Gowrie Main, and then they crossed into Little Gowrie, but they're still going south. And what we're going to do is there's a little dam here just off our main between Vuyatela, Cheetah Cut Line and Chitwa. And it looked like they were coming in this direction. And I know there's water everywhere, but I know it's a very nice deep pool, and we've seen elephants swimming around here before. So I thought we'd very quickly come and have a look at it, and just to see if there's perhaps anything bobbing about. There's lots of elephant tracks going along here. So you never know, we might get lucky. But I don't know, I just can check again for Daryl. Here's a good question. David, you've said, do I think impala would follow elephants for protection? Now, I'm just quickly checking here. Let me go forward quickly. Let's poke our nose on Chitwa and just have a look at this pan. See, there were lots of elephants here today. There's lots and lots of their footprints. So, David, no, I don't. I don't think so. I've never seen anything like that before. I have, however, I'll tell you what I have seen. You can see there's sadly nothing in this puddle of water at the moment. I have seen impala and waterbuck and zebra following elephants around in Zambia and following them down into the dry riverbeds, because the elephants would go in and dig for water, and instead of having to walk all the way back to the Zambezi River, when there is only water in the Zambezi River, there's obviously all that lovely fresh water just below the sand in the riverbeds, and there are very, very few animals that can utilize the riverbeds to dig for water, but elephants can. And I saw waterbuck, zebra, and impala. Elephants would come through, splash around, dig, and have a drink, and then the others would stand on the bank sort of and watch and wait, and then after the elephants have moved off, the other animals would come down and have a drink too. So that was really amazing. It was quite spectacular, but I've never seen them following a herd of elephants for protection. What we have seen, though, is we've seen it was with Brian, wasn't it? When let's keep moving as well, let's go down here. When the Nkuhumas took on a buffalo, then the buffalo was obviously distressing, and then the elephants came through and chased them away. I had a similar sighting with David, where we were, remember that day we were sitting on Gwari Pan, we were actually talking about it the other day too, and I said, well, listen, and listen very quickly. And anyways, they killed a buffalo, and as they were taking it down, it's taking its last breath, this herd, this mom and 3 babies came charging in and chased the lions off the kill. So they sometimes do that, but they don't necessarily follow elephants around for protection. Elephants will respond to distress calls, which we've now learned. Still birding very hard, it seems, on his last afternoon drive with Brian, but I think he's already got this bird on his list, but he's got some babies to show you.
Can you see them, Brian?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. They were there. About 7 or 8 little baby Swanson spur fowls. You can just see the grass moving. Just see the little bits of the top grass moving. We promise there's a spur fowl under there somewhere. Let's just try a little. They were tiny. Both parents as well. Just see if they might pop out into the open. No, I think the grass is just too long. They're over there. And just see the grass moving. It's like the velociraptors in Jurassic Park. Okay, Brian.
All right.
We're coming to the big open area at the south of Cheetah Plains. Positive thoughts. Cheetah.
Pangolins.
Cheetah.
Pangolins and cheetah.
Ah, pangolins and cheetah. Hello, Josh. Josh is wondering, why do we see so few cheetah compared to the other cheetah compared to the other predators? Well, Josh, it's quite a few different reasons. Even though the Greater Kruger is the largest meta population of genetically diverse cheetah in the whole of Africa, male cheetah will have a home range in this area, averaging around 60,000 hectares, which is about 120,000 acres. Female cheetah even bigger. Now, out of all the big cats, cheetah have a very, very interesting breeding setup, which is completely the opposite to all the other cats. So you need a male dominant you need a male dominant sexual ratio. So you need more males than females. So females only come into full estrus and ovulation properly after they have managed to reject 2 or 3 males. So they need to be able to wander through a big area and reject males before they're going to breed. That's going to disappear. It's gone. There's a warthog that walked into the grass and disappeared. So that is one of the reasons. Now, cheetah are quite a fascinating species because they're probably going to go extinct all on their own. So they are an endangered species. But about 10,000 years ago, cheetah hit a genetic bottleneck, and from genetic studies, you can tell there was probably only about, I think they estimate about 30 cheetah left in the whole of Africa and Asia. So all the cheetah that we've got now have actually spread from that. Now, the biggest problem with having such a lack of genetic diversity within a species is that they are very prone to diseases, and a lot of the individuals will not have the genetics to see off a disease. So basically, when most animals mate, and even when human beings mate, you generally choose your partner subconsciously based on the fact that they might have some genetic traits that you don't. So an immunity to hay fever, something like that, and you don't even realize you're doing it. So and vice versa. So there's a lot of that. So basically, if you did a skin graft on a cheetah from Tanzania with one from Namibia, the skin graft would take. They're so genetically similar. So they're probably going to go extinct in the next couple of thousand years, and they're just one of those failed arms of the evolutionary tree. Very sad, because they are absolutely stunning animals. But the main reason we don't see as many of them is because, firstly, they don't occur in as bigger densities. Say, if you think of a male cheetah having a home range of 120,000 acres and a male leopard having a home range of 10,000 acres, you're always going to fit a lot more leopards in there than not. And a lion pride also in this area around 10,000 acres for a female pride, and around 20,000 acres to 25,000 acres for a male coalition. So that's the main reason. There's just not as many as there are of the other predators. Brian, where's the cheetah?
I'm looking.
Yes, I think is the adequate response. I don't think they're here. I think they've carried on into Kruger.
Many cheetah stumps.
Yes, lots of cheetah stumps. Oh, and apparently lots of people are drawing pictures on their thumbs. Well done, guys. Oh, there's a spider web.
Oh, no.
There we go. Well done to celebrate Brian and the thumb. And Jeff wants us to share one of our best killer bee stories. Brian, you choose one.
Best killer bee story. Oh, there's so many.
There are so many.
Sure. Put me on the spot here.
Oh, bebop.
There's too many to choose from.
Oh, of course, well done, Kirsten. So, of course, whenever we have done the Nat Geo Wild TV shows, it's always been the killer bees! Sorry, I'm being called on the... 1 second. Now, there's someone else also looking for these cheetah. Standing by. Oh, I think I'm too far for the Northern Channel. Mike. I saw Mike driving there, and that's the only spot we haven't checked. Oh, he's gone. Oof. Now, there's not many birds we haven't seen out here today. We're looking for Namakwa doves and long claws and things, but I'm not seeing any. Now, of course, we did a lot of TV shows here. We spent a lot of time avoiding Inkahuma poo. Brian is a chief poo spotter, so I don't reverse over very smelly lion dung. I think we've both nearly retched from the smell of Inkahuma dung. When the one day I think we're sitting in the drainage line off Gari Cut Line during a rehearsal, and literally the lions would get up, walk to where we were, and just take the most massive poo next to us. And it was so bad, our eyes were watering, it was so smelly. They had eaten so much rotten buffalo during the drought. Oh, is that hyena track, Brian? Yeah. Actually, let's just see. Should we have a closer look? Okay, I'm going to have a closer look at these tracks. While we do that, let's go see how Tristan is doing on foot.
So we're doing perfectly. It's a beautiful afternoon, so it's absolutely splendid to be walking through this long grass and just listening to all the calls of the birds and Taylor squawking in the distance. No, I'm joking, I haven't heard Taylor from where we are, but we've just been walking around and just trying to see what's going on. And I was saying to Craig that the insect activity has really plummeted in the last week. Last week when we were on a walk, there was insects everywhere. You could go to any piece of grass, any little bush, and you'd find something. And I'm sure that this cold weather that we've had now has just shut everything down a little bit. The insects are not huge fans of cold weather. They like wet weather, but they also like a bit of heat to be able to move around. But as we were walking, we came across quite an interesting tree. So this tree over here is called a sickle bush. Now it's an absolute pain if you want to follow wild dogs or you want to follow leopards through here, because it has these sharp little spines on them that go right through tires. So if you have a look, these spines here are very, very hard. So a spine is a modified branch, and it is very, very hard, and they go right through the tires and they cause absolute havoc if you're trying to off-road. They also in some areas can be an encroaching species where they just take over. So it's often a sign of an area where it's been overgrazed, or if there's been too much disturbance, then this basically comes up. It almost forms like a natural bandage where it will grow over that area and try and protect it from certain animals moving through it. Because of how spiny it is, you'll find not many animals actually like to eat it, and so it just creates this kind of area that is protected. And then as bigger trees start to go through, like the cluster leaves or the big marula in the background, so the light is then blocked out, and this tree then recedes, and so the area will start to open again. But the interesting thing about it is they call this the A to Z of medicine for out here. A lot of the local cultures will use it for all kinds of things, but it's probably its primary use is either as a bandage or in treatment of scorpion envenomations or snake envenomations. So they'll use, basically what they do is they strip pieces of bark like this and they soak it in water, and now it's quite sort of rigid, but as it gets soaked in water, so this starts to get softer and limper, and then you can then wrap it around wherever that sting site is, or if you've got a cut, and this will protect it and basically keep the wound nice and sealed, as well as it contains quite a sticky sap that is very, very good. It's got an antiseptic property to it, and it will basically clean out that wound and help to draw out any of the bad stuff that's inside it. So very, very, very useful to have around. So I was trying to pull off a little bit of bark to show you, but unfortunately this tree is a little bit young. When you get the bigger trees, you can strip off nice big sections and you can actually wrap it all the way around your arm. It's quite amazing how flexible it actually is. Now, there is a rattling testicular calling in the background, but we can't see it, so we're not going to be able to show it on camera, and therefore I'm not going to do its call. So Dina, you're asking, with the grass being so long, am I not at risk for, I think Kirsty said, snake bites and varying other dangerous animals? Well, I suppose we are a little bit more at risk, but the nice thing about snakes is snakes don't lie in the grass waiting for us to come along and then bite us. They're not interested. They know that we're quite a big animal, and most snakes out here can't eat us. So basically they hear this sort of pounding of our footsteps and the vibrations that are sent along, and they'll pick that up quite quickly, and they'll actually start moving away. They're not going to stay right there. There only really is one snake out here that we have to be careful of, and that's the puff adder, because the puff adder does sometimes just lie there, and you'll stand on it, and then it just reacts to you standing on it. So yes, we are a little bit more at risk by walking around in long, thick grass like this, but that's why you just watch where you're walking and make sure you're looking where you're stepping, and you should be fine. The snakes out here, like I said, everyone always is so worried about all the snakes that we get, and because we do get multiple snakes that can kill us, everyone panics a little bit, but actually it's not really that big a problem. Sorry, I just spotted a little assassin bug that is busy moving around here, and it's got the most beautiful coloration on it. It's got these whites with oranges and blacks, and it is moving around underneath the leaf of this Waltheria, so it will be looking for any signs. Let me just clear the lens away there, Karen. Sorry, I'm just going to try and get some of the grass out the way so you guys can see a little bit better. So if you see my hand coming there, I do apologize. There we go. Is that a bit better, Craig? But isn't that a beautiful insect? Now, as the name suggests, they are assassins, so they do kill other insects. For us as people, they're not a threat. It won't kill me if I touch it, but I don't really want to upset it too much. It's trying to hide from me. That's why it's going underneath the plant like that and hoping that I won't see it. Even though it's got these bright colors, it knows if it's underneath the leaf, in all likelihood being a predator from above, I'm not going to be able to hurt it. So, clever little insect, isn't it? Now, getting back to the snakes, like I was saying, that even though we have all these big, dangerous, venomous snakes that could potentially kill us, most of them don't see us as food. So, much like when we walk into a leopard or a lion, those animals generally don't come after us and try and kill us. It's the same with the snakes. They try to rather move away and get out of the area and go to safety rather than taking us on. At the end of the day, we are also considered a big predator out here, so a lot of the animals then move away. But we do need to be careful where we walk. Right, so we're going to probably carry on and try to see if we can get out of this very thick grass and starting to get into a little bit more of a sort of open area. And while we do that, let's go across to Brent, who's in the most open area of the reserve and has a feathered friend.
There we go, a male Namakwa dove. Come on, out onto the road. Isn't that cool? We were looking for him. And we've got another very cool bird to take us to number 60, which is to the right of them. And there's a bit of a courtship display going on there. Hello, double-banded sandgrouse. So there's the male to the right and the female to the left. Look at him, he's digging away there. Now, of course, the most interesting thing about sandgrass is the fact that they often live very far from permanent water sources and will carry water in their feathers back to their chicks. So we only get one species here, which is the double-banded. And I can hear a bird calling, which sounds very much like a bullfrog. Oh, off he goes. Where are you off to, you two? Now, I've seen them. I've flushed them while we've been live. But we haven't managed to get one on camera yet, but that would be quite a good one to get. Just make... So, you're hearing this all over Cheetah Plains at the moment. And it is the Kurachani button quail. How's that, Brian? I'm trying to keep the glare off. And no reveal. Reveal?
Reveal, it's coming.
There we go. It's a bit bright. We're looking straight at the sun. I'll show you a little bit later. Let me try. No. Okay. Oh, my screen's on off. Oh, there we go. So it's a tiny little quail called a Kurachani butted quail. Now, I've seen them as we've been driving along while we're not live, just explode out of the grass next to us. And hopefully we'll be able to... Such a mournful call. Oh, Ooh, is the aqua dove? No, he's going to fly, and the sandgrass is going to fly, and the bronze-winged corsair. Everyone's flying away. Hi Eve. Eve's wondering if birds see in colour. Yes, they do, Eve. It's very important, especially for the fruit-eating birds, so they do see in colour. Oh, Namakwa dove, I didn't see you next time. You'll land in the tree where the light is better? Negative. So, we've searched high and low for that cheetah, but no such luck. Now, James is wondering how many bird species have eye colours that differ between sexes. Oh, off the top of my head, I'm afraid I can only really think of a few. Saddle-billed storks, most notable one. I think some of the widows. Oh, I'm gonna have to double check on that. I can't think off the top of my head. Saddle-billed stork's the most notable one off the top of my head that I can think where both sexes have different eye colours. It is uncommon. Most of the birds, the male and females, will have the same eye colour. And of course, I'm always hoping for Mr. Q as well in this area, but we've got a very cool little spot coming up where we've got some lovely birds like common waxbills and things before. And we haven't even seen a blue waxbill yet, Brian. Oh my goodness, what's going on? Let's get down to my little birding spot. Well done, Shamsung. Double-banded sandgrass was bird species number 173. So getting closer to that magic 200 mark. And for those of you who are over 200, you realize how hard it becomes to get new species once you've seen about 200 species in this area. Now I'm going to go have a quick look at one of my favorite little spots on Cheetah Plains, see if there's any bird activity. But before Tristan's bird flies away, let's see what he's got.
So we have a little female red-backed shrike that is sitting very prettily on the branch, and it seems to be quite oblivious to us. We're no more than, I would say, 20 feet away from it, and it's not even paying any attention to us. So I'm not going to make the call just yet, because I'm quite enjoying watching it preening itself. It's busy running its beak through the feathers and just getting itself nice and clean. And I think it's enjoying the bit of sunlight that we're having this afternoon and a bit of warmer weather. These red-backed shrikes, unfortunately, are not going to be with us much longer, so we're going to start moving off fairly shortly. And I think the colder weather that came in the last few days will have probably pushed quite a few of our migratory birds further north, and that's why it's all puffed up in the nice afternoon sun. And like I say, just cleaning and running all those preening oils through the feathers, getting rid of any little bits of dirt or loose feathers that might have accumulated through the day. Oh, and a little itchy head as well. It's always important to get the itch on the head and under the beak. The female is such a drab bird in comparison to the male. The male is such a pretty coloration with that really very chestnut back and that grey around the head. They seem to have a lot more colour. The females always tend to be so drab and quite sort of unnoticeable. You'll often drive past them without recognising them very much, and you've got to kind of look out for them. But this one's perched right next to us, so quite nice to see. And the reason actually we came up to this particular section is that I was at a tree on bushwalk, I think it was about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and it was the tree of life. There was so many different insects on it. I wanted to come see if they were still around, and unfortunately there's not one single insect on that tree. We must have had at least 15 to 20 different species of insect there a week and a half ago. So it just shows you that how quickly the insects come onto a tree and utilize that pollen or that food source that is coming out of the tree, and then they move on to the next and don't leave any traces of them being there. But isn't she beautiful? Like I say, in that beautiful light as well. So Kirsty's reminding me for the bird call now. Kirsty, I'm going to have to play it on my phone. I said I shouldn't, but I have to play it first just to remember how this goes. So, oh, this is not an easy one either. Hold on, let's play that again. Taylor's apparently saying no, 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 no. But I'm pretty sure that Taylor played bird calls earlier, so we're going to do it anyway. So it goes a little bit something like this. It goes but not quite like that, a little bit more clicky. So I'm not very good with bird calls, but we attempted it. So there you go, Taylor. We've done the first one. We'll have to try find easier ones, Craig. I think let's start trying to find birds that we can do the calls quite easily, because shrikes are not a very nice one. They've almost got a very kind of clicky sound to them, and unfortunately human mouths are not made to make that beak chattering that they do. But it is a beautiful afternoon. It's absolutely perfect to be out here. Isn't it nice, Craig? Are you enjoying being out here? Oh, and now we're going back to Brent, because apparently he's got another bird and we don't want it to fly away, otherwise he'll blame me. So let's go across quickly and see what he's got.
Here we go, a beautiful bird. We haven't seen one for quite a while, a dark chanting goshawk. Quite often when we find them, they are being harassed by the resident fork-tailed drongos, but not today. Looks like he's being left in peace. Stunning. They are such pretty birds and such effective predators. Now, they often will hunt other birds, especially doves, francolin. So those baby Swanson spurfowls would be sort of right up his alley. And he's keeping a close look on the grass below him. He's got a nice high perch. I've even seen them take carmine bee-eaters before in Botswana. You can see that predatory focus scanning around. Oh. I thought there was going to be a dove flying right below him, but the dove saw him and changed his direction. Lucky dove. That's a nice bird. I think we're over 60 now, Brian. Let us see. Dun 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 dun. 61! Oh, yes. Okay. Now, we spotted some common waxbills earlier, but they escaped while Tristan was imitating a bird, so I do still blame him. Of course, it is Tristan's fault. Yes, Tristan says I'm 39 short. I'm well aware of that, Tristan. I got thwarted by some bad weather. I wasn't expecting a howling gale, but we will make a fair effort. And Tristan has a full month to get to 100. I only had 2 weeks. And let's go have a look at Cheetah Plains pan. I mean, no, 3 in a row pan next. Hi, Robin. Robin's wondering, is there a bird that I've seen on the safariLIVE drives that I've never seen before? Not yet, Robin, but I'm hoping for one. I'm quite lucky. I've spent a lot of time in the Lowveld, so there's very few bird species in this area I haven't seen. There's about 2,400 bird species in the whole of Africa, and I've seen about 1,600 of them. I'm still missing a few Congo Basin species from the rainforest, although I did see quite a few of the more easily gettable ones when I was living in Gabon. But the main sort of section of birds I'm missing is the Sahel region, which is the savanna region of West Africa, Chad, Mali, that area, as well as the Ethiopian highlands, Sudan, that area. I've seen every single kingfisher except one in Africa, and the only unfortunate thing about that single kingfisher is where he lives. He lives in a place where it means I'm probably never going to see him. Puntland. Do you know where Puntland is, Brian?
Nope.
That is where all the pirates in Somalia live, so it's probably not a place I'm going to go birding anytime soon.
Well worth the risk, though.
Maybe not for one kingfisher. Yes, no, Puntland I'll avoid. I've been into some quite hairy spots. I've been into South Sudan when it was quite bad, and Congo and places like that, but Puntland is just that little bit too far for me. And also Jamie would probably beat me if I went to go try find a bird in Somalia. Okay, come on, birds! You should all be out with dancing with joy after the wind of this last few days. I think we're definitely going to have to go towards Chitwa. Don't forget, it's Brian's fireside chat, and I think it's a great idea. Those of you who've drawn pictures in your thumbs, draw all of you. You should all have a picture on your thumb by the end of this safari, and share them on Twitter with the hashtag safariLIVE. What do you think, Brian?
I think that's a great
I think it's a great idea. And I know some of you guys are incredibly quick and stuff on Photoshop and that. So why don't you, if you can, grab all the screenshots of everyone's thumbs, ours included, and make a nice sort of montage, or what is it, montage? No, collage. Montage is movie. Sorry, I'm getting confused here. A nice little collage of of all the thumbs, and pop it on Twitter with the hashtag safariLIVE. Okay. Oh, birds. Okay, we're going to sneak up onto them, Brian. Oh, you got him. Well done. Oopsie. Oh, sorry. I got so excited. I took my foot off the clutch too soon. I can't see what that is at the moment. Oh, we had max zoom there, Brian. Turn, little birdie. Is it a firefinch? No. Oh, it's a new species for everyone. It's a cutthroat finch. Oh, he's landed on the road. Somewhere there, to the left. Look at that. That's not one we've ever seen on a live drive before, a cutthroat finch. I think that counts for at least 20 species, so Tristan can shut up. Oh, that is very, very cool. Cutthroat finch, that will be a new one for a lot of people. Oh, and we can hear that Karachani button quail wooing in the background, so maybe we will still come across them. Now, this is definitely my first cutthroat finch on safariLIVE. Well, there we go, Tristan. You got asked yesterday while live if you've ever seen a cutthroat fish. Well, the killer bees have seen one. Nah. See? Ha. Cool. Okay, I was supposed to be linking to someone, but I forgot. Now, oh, wait, before we go. Here's another one we don't have on our list. One of the more common ones. Oh, no, we do have it. It's a female redback shrike. There we go, a female redback shrike. I thought for a second it was something else. There we go. Oh, carrying on. Ha! That was a really good bird. I'm very excited about that. Yes, I'm going to definitely... Maybe we should get some red permanent marker and draw it on our throats, Brian, so we can show Tristan. Just hang on, we might get a nice view of them. Landed, I think, on that little stump there. Or is he gone already? Is that the female, I think? No, it's the male. There we go. There's the cutthroat finch, and you can see, very aptly named. Now, a lot of these birds are being brought in by the rains and the massive amount of grasses that are on cheetah plains. So there's our seed eaters. So they're going to be having a grand old time with the panicum and Eragrostis and all the other grass species here. Here we go, listen to he's giving a little call. Now, we're going to leave our beautiful, exquisitely uncommon and seldom seen cutthroat finch for something a little more common with Taylor.
Brent, you've got to start somewhere, and since he's doing a bird challenge, we might as well get all the common ones. So here we are, a yellow-billed hornbill for you. There's actually a couple of them flying around, munching on harvester termites, which I suspect are on the road, collecting all bits of grass. That was them, a very quick sight of them. Let's see who else we can get here. We've been searching for Daryl. My goodness. Ow! What was that? Hey, nah. I just slapped something on my leg. If it was a grasshopper, I'm not sure what it was, but whatever it had spikes on it, and it jabbed me back. Goodness gracious, it serves me right. I should have gone with a flick. But I thought that it was a biting fly, and well, there's no survivors when it comes to biting flies. Oh, so I was trying to get away from that and avoid it, the hornbill call, right? I don't know, I think that's a hornbill call. Something like that, they make something along those lines. Kirst is so funny. She's so good for your ego when you're out driving around. She said that she actually thought it was a real hornbill. So yeah, so we've been driving around looking for Daryl the elephant, and I don't know where he's gone. So I'm just driving every single road on Djuma at the moment, and then hopefully we'll get lucky and we'll come across him. And that's what I'm aiming for today. But we're coming up to Vuyatela Dam now. We'll just quickly check these open areas. I have a suspicion though Daryl's now crossed out. I think he followed a breeding herd. It was quite a large breeding herd which I'd seen drinking at Chele Pan during the middle of the day. And I think that's the herd he went after. And there were many cows in there, so I'm sure he would have been very busy testing all of them, specifically because he was in must. So he was longing for a lady in his life. And well, Daryl, if you are around, good luck, and I wish you well. But we'll still keep searching, just in case. Right, just see if there's any cool birds lurking in the dam over here. Jeff, you're wondering what is the hardest animal to find and track? I reckon it's got to be the pangolin or an aardvark. Oh, we've got more hornbills. We've got another species of hornbill. Oh no! Let's see if we can get another view. They're red-billed hornbills. Gonna be quick. They're sitting up there. There they are. Just to the left. In the tree. Left. Go. So very far. They're flying away. Well, go all the way to the left. All the way to the left. Left. There we go. There they are. We've got the red-billed hornbills. So there we go. We've done two of the most common hornbills that we see on a regular basis. Sorry, Jeff, I'll get back to your question. And they were having a dust bath in the middle of the road before I disturbed them. And I don't feel too bad about that. There's plenty of sand on all of these roads. So I'm sure that they will just pop back down again once we're finished. Right, let's check this dam. Let's have a very quick look. So Jeff, the hardest obvious animal, I think the cats can be a bit difficult sometimes, especially when they start walking through some of the very long grass. It can be quite tricky. However, if you want the most difficult, it's going to be the secretive species. So starting at African cervets, genets, and then of course an aardvark, or even what else did I say? A pangolin, which I have never seen. They're quite difficult too. Oh, it's a pity. Just having a scan here, I'm looking for those little grebes that were in this dam, but it seems as though they have now moved out. There's no bird life here actually, not even Mr. and Mrs. Egyptian Goose or Mr. and Mrs. Blacksmith Lapwing. I can't even see them out here today. That's a disappointment. Would have been nice to get the combill duck as well. Goodies to add to the list. Okay, that's fine, birds. Be like that, no problem. We'll get them next time. It is beautiful, isn't it? The dam is lovely and full, but it is drying out quite quickly. You're starting to see a lot more of the grass being exposed. It's okay, we'll keep searching. This is not going to get our spirits down. Let's see, maybe some brown-headed parrots somewhere. I've been hearing a lot of brown-headed parrots lately. They've been chirping quite a bit. Oh, that was bright. I stared straight back into the sun. Whoop. Renee from Wisconsin. So you're actually wondering if we get parrots out here. We do. We get different types. We even get lovebirds. But if you want to see Lillian's lovebirds, you have to go, well, quite far north of here. Not in South Africa. In Zambia, you got them. I think in Botswana, you might get them. Anyways, there's a couple of cool different species, and then the common one that we get here is a brown-headed parrot. So we shall have a look for some brown-headed parrots. They seem to be frequenting camp at the moment. Every so often I'll step outside my room, or I'll just be doing something, and you hear them chatting away. So we'll see. Maybe we get very lucky. Those are also very difficult ones to put up on screen. They don't hang around for too long. Let's see. There is a turtle dove Can you see it just up top in the tippy tops of the branches? And it's gone. There was a turtle dove. Right, we'll try again. So we're not having too much luck this afternoon. It's very, very quiet. So we're going to keep on searching and hopefully our luck gets a little bit better. But Tristan stopped looking for birds, it seems. He's moved on to something with a few more legs.
Indeed, it's not that we've stopped looking for birds, but as we were walking, we couldn't help but notice a beautiful web that was shimmering in the late afternoon light. And it's for a orb web spider. Now, this is part of the angulate orb webs, and it gets its name from the construction of the web that it builds. It has lots of little angles as it moves across the web, and that's where it comes from. Now, I was trying to see exactly which one it is. Now, I think it's a cat-faced orb web. Now, I'm not 100% sure, though. I'll have to check it when I get home, but it has these two little points on the abdomen, which almost look like the cat's ears, and then there's two little dots in between, like the cat's eyes. Now, it's moving around feverishly, building its web at the moment, so difficult to see, but I'm going to try. I got a photo of it just now, so I'm going to try and just do a bit more research when I get back home this evening. But it's incredible to watch this little spider at work. It is building at a rate of knots. It looks like it will be finished in the time that we probably stand here. When we first got here, it was actually building its anchor lines, which are these ones on the outside here, and you can actually see it's got a slight gold coloration to it, so there's a little bit of a gold tinge, much like many of the orb webs have. It's not a golden orb web though, so it's quite interesting to see. And these anchor lines are just there to be able to provide a rigid structure for them to then start sewing the web on the inside that has the sticky silk that will catch the insects that fly in. So it's feverishly trying to build, and I think it's doing this because with all the wind that we've had in the last few days, if this spider had a web, most likely it would have been damaged in the wind. Now the wind has settled a little bit and it's warmed up quite nicely, so there should be quite a high insect activity during the night tonight, and so it's probably trying to prep as quickly as possible for this evening to be able to then build the web. But isn't it amazing how the web is actually coming out through those spinnerets on the abdomen, and the legs, if you watch, the legs are controlling and manipulating where it actually anchors the web and where it places it to be able to form the shape that it is making as it goes round in these circles. And all it's doing is it's creating a circular effect where it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and eventually we're going to get to a situation where it will have completed the circle and the entire web will be complete. Now, what you might not be able to see is as it's moving, there are little anchor lines coming down from a central point. Those are not going to be very sticky either, and that's how the spider is going to be able to negotiate its way back to come and rest on the anchor line and then wait for something to come in here for it to then come and feed on. So it is quite amazing to watch. They also have very specialized little hairs on the end of their legs that allow them to be able to negotiate and traverse the entire web as they move around. But there's something mesmerizing about watching this little spider building away. In the grand scheme of things, it's almost like it's building an entire house while we are busy sitting here. The effort that is taking, you can imagine such a small little creature to go back and forth, up and down, as well as the amount of nutrients that is drawing from the spider. The spider is obviously using proteins to develop this web, so it's taking nutrients from its own body and processing them to be able to spin a web like this. So it's taking nutrients out of this animal, and it's a lot of energy that's being exercised just to build this small little web. So that's why when we out here and we're walking and we're driving around, we're always trying to take as much care as possible not to damage these, because it's quite an engineering feat for these little spiders to be able to build this. Now, interestingly enough, I was looking just now, but I don't know if you can see it, but up here at the top is a tiny little spider there. Now, it could be the male. It's very difficult to see because it's against the light, but it is very, very small. Now, on orb webs, sometimes what you'll get is called a dewdrop spider. Now, the dewdrop spider is a little kleptomaniac. So what that means is that it will come onto the web of the orb web, and it sits just out of the way, and it doesn't make any movement, so it doesn't attract any attention to itself. Then what happens is a prey item comes in, the orb web then starts to inject it with venom and wrap it up in silk, and then it will go and often rest and wait for the venom to start kicking in and to basically liquefy that prey. And while it's doing that, these little dewdrop spiders slowly come down, and because of how small they are, they actually don't provide enough of a vibration on the web to trigger that individual, that orb web, to know that there's orb web spider, to know that there's something there. So it can sneak in and feed off a little bit of those juices and then get out again before the orb web spider has even noticed, which is quite incredible. And the reason it's called a dewdrop spider is because if you see it in the light, it's got a silvery colored abdomen which reflects light like a little droplet of water, and it looks like little droplets all over. The best ones to see it on is on the big orb web spiders, the golden orb webs. They often have a lot. I can't see nicely, like I say, with the light now. I'm going to go around just now, and then I'm going to have a look just to see exactly what it is. But it could also be the male. Remember, with
sorry about that, the gremlins seem to have attacked. That just happens out here every now and then, but we shall get straight on it. We're still searching for elephants, really not having any luck. We've seen, I think, about 3 or 4 different sets of elephant tracks and breeding herds and dung, but not one elephant. So they definitely were here at some stage today, and probably this morning, but now they are no longer around anymore, which is a bit sad. So we're just going to quickly check this western corner and see if we have any luck down here. And then if we don't, we will try and go back to the area where Shongile was seen. I don't think anybody has actually followed up on her just yet. Ah! Land turtle doves. There they are. Just up top there. Mr. and Mrs. Turtle Dove. There we go. Perfect. And there we go. Another one to the list. Hi guys, very happy of course. They were also on the ground, but most likely not dust bathing as the hornbills like to do on these sunny afternoons, but I suspect just looking for something to eat. But another one for the list. I'm not sure what I'm on now. I have to get my notebook out, and I've started writing some of them down, but I haven't put the hornbills in yet, and then we need to remember to add the turtle doves. Right, let's continue. Oh no, and I have to do the call. Why do I say things like this? I don't know why I make these challenges so pleasant for myself. It's ridiculous. Turtle dove call. Here we go, there's the turtle dove call. I don't think I want to. That's an easy one to do though. Trying to think, we're gonna get a bit. I'm gonna get a bit scared when we get some of the tough ones. I'm gonna have to only choose birds that have got easy bird calls. Otherwise, I'm gonna find myself in a little bit of trouble. Let's see who's gonna be the next bird. Kristen, you're wondering what the largest bird in Africa is. Well, now we've got to run through the different types of large birds. The heaviest flying bird. Is the Cory bustard. So that's the heaviest flying one. I'd say the largest bird has to be an ostrich, but of course that one can't fly, so the largest non-flying bird, ostrich, we'll go with. Penguins are just a bit too small. Then who else? Largest eagle, martial eagle we've got. So there's quite a few different ones just in various categories. But I think the most impressive has to be the Cory bustard. When it comes landing in, it genuinely sounds like there's an aeroplane about to land on a runway. It's amazing. And if you've ever heard geese or ducks, when they sort of swoop down, tongue-tied, they swoop down just before they land in the water, you should have been able to have heard that noise that comes across. It's so loud on a Cory bustard. It's sort of hurts my ears a little bit from the videos that I've watched, and I turned the volume up so loud because I've heard it's amazing. I haven't seen a Cory bustard yet. I'm looking and looking and looking, and I'm going to Kruger often, but I just keep missing them. But that's one of those things out in the bushes. Sometimes you get birds, sometimes you don't. It may take a little bit longer to see others, but that's okay. I'm happy with that. I see a something. Let's go and see what something I've seen. They're here. One we may have gotten already. There's a lilac-breasted roller. We don't want that one again. We've seen that one. Where's this other one? Oh no, wait, is this a lilac-breasted roller? Yes, it is. It looked like it may have been an African grey hornbill, but we didn't get it on camera, so it doesn't count. We've got the Cape Glossy starlings. They're there. We don't need to worry about them. 5 birds that we've seen already. Okay, let's go down here. Let's try like this way. I don't think we're going to see too many spectacular birds. It'll be nice this evening to see if we can get some nightjars, and then of course the bronze-wing coursers. We'll try and get them out of the way. Thickneys. We'll go check again once again around the dam a bit later and try and get a few. No, we've got those hornbills and lilac-breasted rollers. Come on, guys, where's your friends? Where's the different bird species? All that we're seeing this afternoon. Magpie shrikes. And a drongo. We'll get the drongo just... Actually, you all saw the drongo just zoomed across the sky. Go up a little bit. There they go. There are 2 magpie shrikes. So that's another one to add to the list. And I'm going to count that drongo because we did see it. It flew across your screen as we were sort of heading, zooming into these birds. So that one counts 2. So I need to add a lot more to my list. But some of my favorite birds are magpie shrikes, especially because we got to see a couple from eggs and then develop into chicks. And then sadly, I don't think that the chicks made it. Remember that nest that we had on Hyena Road? That was last year's time. Which was quite difficult to see they're naked. But you can see adult on the left and juvenile on the right. Just from the length of the tail. And also look how mottled the feathers are of the one on the right. Hasn't quite got its true white colouring just yet. It'll take some time before those nice adult feathers come through. Lovely. And it's beautiful light as well. This is the most magnificent day. The weather is so lovely. Who else is here? Should we get another fork-tailed drongo? Can you see that fork-tailed drongo just over there? There we go, straight in. I know I've got to do the call still, but we'll do them in a group. There we go. In case you weren't sure, there's the fork-tailed drongo that we're telling you about. Great camera work there from Herman with the Drakensberg Mountains in the background, and also using the luxury facilities. My goodness, all that behavior in one go. And one of the most elegant birds in the sky, and also definitely one of the feistiest. It's not often that you see other birds other than fork-tailed drongos mobbing martial eagles or other raptors. They're lovely. Thank you, little drongo. That was nice of you. We'll have to try and find your look-alike, the southern black flycatcher. So we'll keep an eye out for the southern black flycatchers. They've been around too. Now the calls. Di, you said I'm so good at birding. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. I think good is a strong word. I'm good at finding all the common birds. Brent is very much an avid birder. I think it's lots of fun. Hang on, here's another one. Oh, no, I don't think we'll get that one. It's okay. So now I'm going to... Oh, now I'm in debt. Now I'm bird call debt. Right, drongo. Drongos are hard, though, because drongos can mimic other bird species, too, as well as other mammals. I don't know how to do a drongo call. I don't know how to make a mechanical sound. It's so difficult. I can't do a drongo call. It's impossible. I refuse. I can do a magpie shrike call. We need to listen to the call, though. Let's get the call out. Oh, and I need to also add my birds to my list, because in the moment I'm going to forget them. Let's go M. No, not M. We need to go S for shrike. Okay, shrikey, shrikey. Okay, ready for the call? Gotta turn the volume on. Okay. No, I can't do it either. That's too hard. I give up. I don't want to play this game anymore. Can we go back to, can we just spot the birds? And then if it's an easy bird, we do the bird call. Because I feel like Tristan's now, he's avoiding this challenge for a reason. And I'm going to do all of these calls. And, yes. I don't know if I want to do those calls anymore. They're not so great. They're a lot more difficult than what I thought. Oh, another one! Nope, land. Land hoopoo. Actually, 2 new birds. We have got a laughing dove on the left. And then that's the African hoopoo that has just taken off. It doesn't matter, we got it, it's there. Let's have a look at the laughing dove, just down on the road. There we go. That's another one we need to add. Thank you, birdie. Oh, you may carry on. walking up and down the road. Off it goes, looking for something to eat, probably looking for grass seeds. They're all falling off at the moment. Oh, I hear babblers. Let's get the babblers. I can hear them. They're just around the corner. Herman, you gotta be quick. They're gonna come up on the left-hand side, and these birds don't like to sit down once they've been spotted. They're gonna try and sneak. Ah, they were in the road actually. Let's just see. Oh, they've just flown off. You're gonna creep around the corner like this. Babbies, where are you? Can you see them? Here we go. Oh. Oh no, we're not having much luck. I think that one counts. Kirsten, can we get that one? Can we get the babbler? Because we just saw it fly off. Okay, Kirsten's allowed it. The Queen has allowed us to take that bird. We'll see if we can get another view, but they're very shy, the arrow-marked babblers. They never quite stick around for very long. Okay, let's see. Nope, they've gone. No surprise at all. That's the babblers for you. They don't like to hang around for very long, but a couple more birds added to the list. Hopefully we'll find some more special ones in a moment. But Brent has finally arrived at his destination, and that destination is Chitwa Dam.
I'm sure Taylor had a babbler. Doesn't Taylor babble?
I think so.
No, I think we could classify Taylor as a babbler. Now, as you can see how massively full Chitwa is at the moment. It is absolutely gorgeous in this late afternoon light. The only problem with being this full is the hippos are so spread out. There's one there. Hello, hippo. We can hear them, but I mean, there's so much water now. The hippos are everywhere. It is always just peaceful to sit next to a lovely big water hole. You can hear the weavers weaving away, making lots of noise. And the of a hippo exhaling. Come on, hippos. There we go. On cue. Now, I know I've told a few of you this story before, but you never know. We might have some new viewers who haven't heard the Mbogush legend about hippopotamus. The Mbogush are river bushmen from Botswana, and I spent a lot of time with them in my teenage years. And the guy was a tracker I spent a lot of time with. His name was LT, which was basically short for Lototototo, which is also the name for a banded mongoose. And his first job at 15 years old was in one of the old safari camps in Botswana, and it was chasing banded mongooses out of the kitchen. So his real name is Letsi, but he just became known as LT, or Lototototo, and the banded mongoose, or the banded mongoose chaser. But according to the Mbogush legend, because hippos are quite grumpy and they turn over mokoros and they attack people, and so they've got quite a bad reputation. And the Mbogush legend goes, it's because you never know if a hippo is happy or not, or whether they can actually tell a joke. So, because the hippos all go under the water and tell each other the joke, and then they come up and they all go, and they're all laughing, but you never know if they're laughing from embarrassment about how bad their jokes are, and that's why they're in a bad mood, or they're laughing just because they're not nice creatures and you don't know the joke. So that's the old Mbogush legend about hippopotamus. But it's very, very quiet. Oh, sorry, I'm just listening to the radio for a second. Definitely one of the quintessential African sounds. Well, other than that, not much else happening here. Lauren's wondering, can hippo open their eyes underwater? They probably can. They don't do it too often. It depends on the quality of the water they're in, Lauren. There's some incredible footage from a spring in Kenya that shows hippos under the water running in crystal clear water, and they do open their eyes. So yes, they can, but I would say in murky, muddy water like we've got here, they probably don't. No dab chick today, or red knob coot. Anna's wondering, where's Boris hanging out these days? Anna, I don't know. I actually think Boris might be back in the Chitwa waterhole, especially with it being so big, not so much competition with Vlad the Impaler. And apparently there's a third crocodile, which we haven't seen yet. And I did say if we saw a third crocodile, whether it's a male or a female, it's going to become bullet-toothed Tony. Stunning. But anyway, I think we're going to keep moving on. I think we're going to see if we can find a little shongololo, because we've got to have a big cat on this drive. But it seems like Taylor really wants to make some more funny noises because she's got another bird.
We had another bird, of course. We had African pipits. Hang on, let's see if this one is going to sit down. There we go, they're back in the road again. Now, here we go. Quite an easy bird to spot. You can see that one of the reasons that I know that this is an African pipit is just from its behavior, the way that it wags its tail quite a bit, and then also that very white supercilium on top of its eye. I suppose if you're not familiar with birding terms, you could say it's its eyebrow. Just the way that it looks, it's not really its eyebrow. We call it a supercilium. Now that's very easy, and it looks like they've been feeding on harvester termites. Every now and then you can see the harvesters behind them. They go and peck about over there. But very cool. African pipit, another one to add. And you can actually get them confused quite easily with the monotonous larks. But I haven't seen too many monotonous larks around here. So I suspect if we go to Cheetah Plains, we'll definitely see some more. But a nice bird nonetheless. And I'm actually impressed that they normally, look at this, actually, no, don't go, no, all three of them have flown. Normally they see you and then they're gone. They fly away very, very, very quickly before you can even get a proper look at them. But there was one that was quite relaxed. There were three of them together. So I think what had happened there is it was mom and dad and most likely a juvenile with them. And we're seeing a lot of that at the moment. We're seeing, it almost looks like all the birds are very much gregarious. But again, just a reminder, it'll be their offspring, and they'll feed them for a little bit, teach them the ways of life before they go off on their own. My goodness, who's next? Who's next? Who are you? Oh, that's a hard one. It looks like a bunting of some sort. No, it's too high in the tree, I think, to get. No, we won't get that one. Let's see if it lands somewhere. There's a lot of little brown jobs around at the moment. No, they've gone. It did look like a bunting though. Most likely the cinnamon-breasted bunting. That's okay. I'm so sad we haven't seen elephants. It's starting to depress me a little bit because of all the signs that we've seen, and you know, that's one of the easier animals to track down as an elephant, except if they cross out of your traverse and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. It's amazing. We just had them for a few days and now they're gone. Maybe they'll be back in the morning. We'll have to wait to find out. Right, next bird please, next bird. Let's get some francolins. Let's get them off of the list. We can do crested francolin, we can do Natal spurfowl, and we can do Swainsons as well. That'll be fine with me. Now, Bobby, you're wondering if there's any robins or cardinals in South Africa. Now, we don't have a specific bird called a cardinal. However, we have cardinal woodpeckers. I think they're slightly different to the cardinals that you're talking about. So we have cardinal woodpeckers, but we've got plenty of robins. Brown scrub robins, white brown scrub robin, which is quite a common one as well. We've also got bearded scrub robins, which is a very nice one to see. There's many birds that have got beautiful voices out here. Robins though, we think, you know what, we'll have a best bet is either now at this crepuscular period or first thing in the morning. You'll normally hear the robins singing away. And I'm looking around, I'm trying to scan for where these birds are all going. It's amazing how you go through these patches where you just don't even see one. And then other times you see them quite frequently. And who's just flown off? Let's chase this bird down. Never raced after a bird before, but I suppose there's a first time for everything. Anna, you've asked if we see swallows on Juma. We do. If you ever watch the dam cam quite a bit, you'll see them coming in and skimming water out of the dam. We get the pearl-breasted swallows. We've started seeing lesser striped swallows again, though they've been back for a while. They're lovely. What else do we get? We get the red-breasted swallows, you get barn swallows, Europeans, and there's lots of swifts too. So there are actually many different species of swallows and swifts that we see around here. Let's see, come on birds. It would be nice if we could start seeing things like long-billed crombecs and perhaps grey pendulum tits, some of the really small looking birds that are really tricky to get. We'll have to keep a serious eye out for those because they're so tiny. Let's see. My goodness, you see, here we go. We've hit a lull again when it comes to the birds. It's just sort of a break where there's absolutely nothing through here, but we'll get past it. Surely we're going to have to get past this little break. Let's check up in these silver cluster leaves. And it's hard with all the grass on the ground because we could have passed plenty of guinea fowl. We could have had all the francolins that I was telling you about earlier. And we're just missing them because they become completely drowned out in this grass. Impossible to see them. Come on. Maybe I need to just drive around sort of singing different bird tunes to lure them all out. Maybe that'll work. Hang on, here's the European roller, which we haven't got yet. Just sitting on the edge of this silver cluster leaf. Here we go. Not the greatest view of one, but indeed a European roller. So another goodie to add to the list. That's nice. We're getting there slowly, you know, it will take a bit of time. I look forward to the morning safari though. We'll definitely see a couple of good birds, especially if we head down towards, especially if we go down towards the Mulwati. Tristan's now on my back. He's now sitting in final control and he's listening to my every word, and now he's demanding. He's so demanding today. It's unlike Tristan. A call for this bird, and we've been lucky. We owe a lot of calls. So let's start from the beginning. Are you ready? We need to do African hoopoe. Whoop whoop, whoop whoop, whoop whoop. Done that one. What else did we see? Do you remember, Herman? We saw, oh, African pipit. Something along those lines. Roller again. No, I've forgotten. No, you have to listen to the roller call. Oh, I was going to say do something else. Let's go R for roller. No, that's rock runner. No, we don't get rock runners. Let's go here. And we're looking. Let's play it. No, this is difficult. This is a lot more difficult than what I thought. My goodness, no, that wasn't great. I think everybody in final control is enjoying watching myself and just embarrass myself as normal. Normally I don't feel in South Africa we would say shy, so I'm not even normally shy about doing silly things, but now I'm regretting, and really I'm really now regretting enforcing these rules, because it's a bit bad. There was a couple of others that we saw, but I'm just not going to mention them because I can't do their calls very well, so we'll just leave them. I think if I can do most of the calls, let's not say I have to do every single one of them. I think we should be lenient. It's the weekend, of course, you know. Let's just take it easy. Let's not have a stressful day here, because, oh my gosh, it's a giant Mildred. Mildred? I have to get Mildred first. Mildred, don't go under my car tire. Oh, and I got sunburn today. It's very funny on my legs. Come out. No, that's a giant Mildred. Look, it's rearing up. She's about to attack. How cool is this? Let me plug my earpiece back in though. My long cable that I could also lasso Mildred with if I wanted to. Now, why are you doing that? Should we get a 2-shot? There we go. You've got Mildred and a tortoise in 1 shot. Have you ever? This is a really, really big. I mean, you can see how massive this thing is compared to the size of my hands. No, Mildred, come here. This one is not a trained shongololo. This is, of course, a millipede. It's not a Mildred. A Mildred is not a species, but I have given the name Mildred to all millipedes. And it's a big one. It's really cool. Oh, yes. Oh, we actually can't have the 2 of them too close. Thank you, Tristan, for reminding me, because Gregory eats millipedes. Speaks hinged tortoises eat them. Nom, nom, nom. No, that was the other way around. I don't know. Do you think... Go on, eat it. No, doesn't want to eat it. Gregory's younger brother must be full, so we will leave them. But I love them. I always have to stop and say hello to a millipede, especially when they're this size. They don't really get too much bigger than this. This is actually very, very special. You can see. Look at that. If you want to go on my hat for a little bit, all millipedes have to have a ride on my hat. Don't fall off. Careful now. This one doesn't know how to climb on hats either. No, it prefers the hands. Come on, claw around. Look at that. It's like the size of my head. Oh, Mildred! Mildred, why are you jumping off? How ridiculous is that? I think she needs to go in for therapy. Don't do things like that. She didn't seem very depressed. That was very sad. Sorry, Mildred. Should I give it a kiss to say sorry? Here we go. I'll put Mildred back now. Sorry for making you fall off. You can guess what happened. I now have to wash my hands. Mildred got a fright. She was so excited. Well, there's now millipede feces all over my fingers, and it doesn't smell very nice. That's, of course, their chemical defense. Mildred, I'm not very happy with you. I hope tortoise finds you and eats you up. Well, I'm going to drive away very angrily that I've got millipede feces on my hand. Earpiece, you also have to go in now. Right, let's carry on. We have more elephant tracks around here. Hopefully we'll see where these tracks go, but again they're going west or a little bit southwest. Now the female joker wondering if it feels weird when a millipede crawls on you. It's the most amazing feeling. I actually don't know how to describe it. It feels like their legs are Velcro, so the tiny little Velcro legs just walking all over you. It's a little bit ticklish. So I think, like, if you were to have to put it on your leg or something, it would probably, I wouldn't be able to handle it. I think it would be too ticklish for me. But it really is the most amazing feeling. It was one of the things I'd actually do for my guests, because it's a sensation that you feel once. There's nothing else that feels like a millipede crawling on you. So I always used to make my guests, if they were brave enough, of course, walk across their hands if you found a millipede that was willing. If it was one that you tried to handle and it curled up in a tight ball, then I just put it down. It's obviously not feeling very comfortable. That's all right. We're going to keep searching around here for some birds and some elephants that we haven't quite seen just yet. But I'm going to send you across to Brent, who has now left Chitwa Dam and is in search of another kind of shongololo.
Yes, it's my favorite kind of shongololo, called a shongile shongololo. And she was around here somewhere this morning. It's so unfortunate. It's so thick at the moment. I'm hoping she's going to be lying in a tree or sitting on top of termitaria. But so far, no luck. Or maybe she's moved to one of their favorite spots, that little pan at Shabam Road. We've checked the quarry, she's not there. It is always possible that Mom has caught something and came back to fetch her. Or she's gone off to play with her brother, but there's a bird, Brian. Oh no, don't fly away, little cardinal woodpecker. There he is. Was it a cardinal? Oh. Size-wise says cardinal. Was it a bearded? No, it's a cardinal. Hello, little cardinal. I don't think we're going to make it to 100, but we gave it a good bash.
We did.
Woodpecker with the golden light behind it. Tiny little one. Where is it? Tutik. Here we go, little cardinal woodpecker, tick. We're not going to look at how many we've got yet. We're going to keep trying. Of course, I'm really hoping we find little shongile. Come on, be up in a tree. Okay, that pan next to Shibam Road, one of their favorite spots, is coming up shortly. Now, I'm always looking in the thick grass for an area that's completely flat, because we've seen what those little leopards do to grass when they spend a couple of days in the area. They completely flatten it. Yeah, little shongololo. Well, this morning, when we were looking for her, she was actually following us. When we came back, her tracks were on top of ours. Well, Ilsa says all the animals are having a siesta this afternoon. It does seem that way, doesn't it? We did have some earlies right at the beginning of the safari. But that's about it. This is one of their favorite little spots to hang about as well, around this little water hole. I'm going to do one last little check. I've got a feeling that Queen Karula might have come back to fetch them. Let's have a look here. No, my footprints from this morning. So Hasana's tracks crossed here. But I heard when we were moving out of Shongile, I could hear some Franklin alarm calling that I'm quite sure were to do with that little troublemaker. One last look at the quarry, and then we're going to start heading towards quarantine. Remember, it is fireside chat Saturday. A very sad fireside chat. Bebop's leaving. I blame the thumb. I blame the thumb. The thumb is the one. Look at that evil smile. Oh, it's watching me. And the thumb even has an evil laugh today. Of course, this isn't Brian's last drive. It's my last drive with Brian. He will be leaving on Wednesday. Is that correct? Yep. Wednesday morning is Brian's last drive. And Jamie and I shall be going on holiday. Brian, question for you.
Question who?
Tanis
Tanis is asking, who do I enjoy filming the most? Of course, Killer B number 2.
Well,
Well, everyone else is okay. I don't mind filming everyone, yeah.
wait, there's someone wants to talk to me. Let's see, maybe they know where the leopards are. Jamie. Jamie, has there been any update on Karula to the south? Okay, interesting. Okay, copy, thanks very much. So, it sounds like Karula made a kill down to the south. Sorry. Yeah, I think that's still at Sibambili. So it sounds like Karula made a kill. And an unknown, unrelaxed young male leopard chased her off it. And so they're not sure where she is. She ran to the north, so she could very easily be on Djuma somewhere, but I didn't see any tracks as I came across, but it sounds like she was quite far south when that happened. But she has, so that means she might have fetched the cubs, so hopefully they're all fine and dandy, and we're going to have to wait to see what happens in the next couple of days. I'm pretty sure they'll be fine. They're at that age now where fast enough and smart enough to get out of the way of a young male leopard. And of course, with Karula as your mother, you've always got to sort of step up a good start in life. Oh! Elephants being naughty on the road. Now, Brian, what animal are you going to miss filming the most?
Probably leopard cubs
Leopard cubs, yes, they are quite wonderful.
and lion cubs.
And lion
Yeah,
cubs.
they're the best.
They are the best. Ow! 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 Lion cubs make the most wonderful noises.
James would like to know my favorite spot on our traverse. Probably the DRC camp. Oh yes.
Well played, well played. Ah, there we go. Outside of the DRC, oof. Zoe would like to know what was the funniest and scariest killer bee experience. We haven't had really too many scary ones. We've had some arguments with elephants. I think one of the funnier ones is when we got completely covered in dust by a massive elephant bull. He just went camera lens, sand in your eye, in your mouth, elephant snot on your nose.
Scary. I have to say I've never felt scared once on the back of this vehicle.
Oh, thanks, Brian.
Oh yeah, Brenty.
That's all the presenters can take a little pat on the back for that, because of course the cameramen are quite focused on their job, and we can't be having scared cameramen now, can we? They don't film so well. Poor little Romeo. But shame Romeo did have probably one of the most scary experiences anyone can have. Okay, so the sun is setting. We're starting to move towards a quarantine. How long do we have, Brian? Oh, we got 20 minutes. Maybe we should stop in at the hyena den. I think that's a good idea. Stop in at the hyena den, have a look at the moon. Valpine Wolf Girl says all the animals are protesting Brian's departure by not appearing on this sunset safari. Oh, poor Brian. Maybe the hyenas will play along. They like to be the opposite of everyone else. Girls bigger than boys. Girls beating up boys. Pseudo penises. The like. So maybe they'll be contrary to the leopards this afternoon, make an appearance. Okay, we are arriving at the hyena den. I'm feeling lucky. It's nice and cool, so maybe the cubs will be out and about making a nuisance of themselves. I haven't seen these cubs just yet. Now, as we make our way into the hyena den, of course, tomorrow morning we have Dave who's going to be trying out on interview. And we might as well, should we do it, Brian? Let's get him used to the camera early. There we go. Say hi.
Hey, everyone.
Doesn't he look petrified, guys?
Sorry, me.
There we go. So
You drive.
he looks a bit scared, but be nice to him. I'm sure he'll do fine. He has a bug in his eye. So Dave will be trying out tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. Okay. Come on, hyenas. And just in case you were starting to worry, don't worry. Only Brian's leaving, but none of the presenters. We are all still here. If you don't see Jamie and I for the next couple of weeks, it's because we're on a holiday, but we will be back. We are going to a good friend's wedding, and we're going fishing, and very exciting. At the last minute, we managed to get tickets to the Pixies. I don't know if anyone knows who the Pixies are, but if you know who the Pixies are, I'm very excited. This is I think their first time ever in South Africa, and probably the only time they're ever going to come to South Africa, and they are one of my favorite bands, and Jamie's, so I had to. Tristan wants me to sing a song. As we know, we all know I shouldn't sing. It is not a very pleasant experience for anyone. But I can name some of their more famous songs, and the hyenas are not at home, unfortunately. But Monkey's Gone to Heaven. And of course, I think the song that everyone probably knows is Where Is My Mind? I think my favorite Pixie song is probably Debaser. Okay, well, we're going to keep slowly heading back towards Djuma and Brian's favourite place, the DRC. While we do that, let's go see what Taylor's found on Arathusa.
We're still very far away, and I'm driving as fast as I can because we are chasing the sun at the moment. Is that the sand pack of dogs is on Arathusa, so I'm heading straight into the sighting. But I have to try and concentrate as we drive and race, obviously, on many different things, and also to just make sure we go to the right road. And my phone, work, unlock. I need voice command on this thing when I'm driving, so I apologize if I don't turn and look back. I'm just trying to do too many things at once. But I know that you'll forgive me if I show you dogs. So let's see, we're not far. They were just on track south of Safari. We're about 2 minutes away, 2-3 minutes away, if they haven't gone racing somewhere else. So we just try and stay on the right path. Standing by. Okay, copy, perfect. I'm almost here at track south of Safari, off the driveway. Copy, thanks. There they are, there they are, there they are! Right in front of us! This is so cool! I was laughing. Mornay said that he could hear me, and I wonder if he was talking about the sound of my voice or the car. That's always a tough one to choose from, but here we go. This is the first time I've ever seen the sand pack before. Oh no, I lie. I've seen the sand pack many times. That was utter nonsense that I just spoke. I've watched the Toulon pack and the sand pack have a big box between each other, and they chased one another from the northern traverse on Sabi Sabi to into Lion Sands, and then back up and down again about 3 times before they stopped. Now I'm just going to move back a bit. Just don't want to, the dogs will walk past me, but I'd rather pull off the road if I can. They're going to come straight towards us. So we'll just pop our nose here into this driveway, pull off a little bit, and there we go. How cool is this? Very, very nice. But the first time that I'm seeing this pack of dogs, of course, live. But let's have a look at the dogs. They're way more important than what I am at the moment. One of the most endangered animals in Africa. And you can see this one over here is up, looking for very tattered ears, leading the pack, listening out. Now, if they go to the airstrip, they'll have a fantastic surprise because there are plenty of impala down there. See, ears are working, waiting to hear a leaf being pulled off of a branch, a snort, a flick of a tail, anything, you name it, and they're walking right past us. They're very relaxed. But this, obviously, unfortunately, the sighting is definitely light sensitive. So as soon as it gets a bit too dark, which will be most likely in the next 10 minutes or so, so at least we've got a bit of time to share with them. And hopefully by this time they would have found something for us. And they will chase it, which will be exciting. I haven't seen a wild dog chase down prey in a very long time. I've seen many wild dog takedowns. I think I've seen more wild dog takedowns than I have leopard kills before. It is impressive. It's unbelievable. I'll never forget the one day I was sitting serving morning tea and coffee to my guests on one of the lodges at Sabi Sabi, one of the lodges called Bush Lodge, overlooking a massive open plain, and I just heard an impala, big ram, snorting, and he raced into the open area. And I thought, it was ratting season. I thought, no, that impalas going a little bit too quickly to be chasing another male. And then a flash of white, a flash of black, and a bit of tan was darting behind. It was one wild dog from the two-line pack that had managed to chase down this impala, and I kid you not, it took the impala down in front of the deck. It was unbelievable. This dog is going to come right here. Look at that. Look how close it is to you. Hello, guys. They're actually not small when you see them right next to the car. I'm talking nonsense now. I'm getting so excited. I've seen dogs on foot before, but that was in Zambia, and they were jumping, standing on their back legs in the long grass, looking at us and barking. But it was also quite a distance. But to see them come past like this, my goodness, they're not small. They're probably much taller than my knee. But this is very, very cool. What an amazing sighting. Definitely a really, really good one to have just before the sun goes down. But here come the last of the pack, coming just off into the distance. So it's gone from not seeing much but birds. Though Brent has been on a roll today. Tristan was also fond of lots of goodies, so it was bound, our luck was bound to change. And well, it could not have gotten any better. And I'm sure that you all agree with me. Must be the lucky Gregory thumb. Come on, guys. What is your plan? Like I said, we'll just listen to what the other guys say to see if they're going to call this a negative sighting. We should have a couple more minutes still. So predominantly diurnal hunters, though I have seen dogs taking down impala just as the sun is setting, so much darker than this. They will hunt on full moon. Tonight is I don't know if it's quite full moon. I think tomorrow might be full moon because the moon was already up this evening before the sun had set. Not this afternoon. So I think tomorrow will be the night, but there's still plenty of light that the moon will let off. There's not a cloud in the sky. So they are going to have a fantastic time. So perhaps they just got started a little bit later today because of the heat. And then, of course, that they know that they're going to have extra opportunities to hunt this evening. This is very cool. Hello, sandpack. You can hear some mongoose alarming as well in the distance, some dwarf mongoose. And they will run for the hills. They'll duck down into their termite mounds. And if you do have any questions, remember this is a live interactive safari and we'd love to hear from you. So hashtag safariLIVE with all of your questions, or if you've got any beautiful screenshots, that is fine too. We'd love to see them, and thank you again for sending in all the wonderful pictures, your screenshots of the thumb, of your thumbs, not the thumb. This is very cool. Lady Macbeth, you're wondering who the alpha is. I suspect it was that male that we first saw with the very tattered ears, because he was walked through, and typically they'll be in front of the pack, and he was sort of heading it up. And then there was a female that came through afterwards. So I think that was the alpha pair that we'd seen. We'll try and catch up with them again. They're still just moving slowly up the road. Actually, oh, we've got Limpy Lou. We've got a limping wild dog over here, just the one walking past the vehicle, which is not a problem. You can see a little bit of a limp. They heal very, very quickly. Now, if they were to have puppies, if they had a den site somewhere, they'd actually leave this dog at the den site to babysit all the little pups and then wait till it gets better. But because there's no den site at the moment, it sort of kind of has to go with the rest of the group. Oh my gosh, look at this one right here. It's so curious with us. Hello. Have you never seen a big camera before? It was very funny. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm quickly going to turn around because I want to get a picture of these dogs. Like I said, I'm just going to turn around quickly so we can... Before we do, I have to show you something amazing before I go, because, sorry, the moon and the wild dogs is just unbelievable. And I don't know if I'll get this shot again. Look at this. I don't know if we'll be able to squeeze it in. Right, can we have a look? Sorry, we just... This is so beautiful. So I want to get a two shot of the dogs and the moon, just because it's really, really beautiful. So if we can get the dogs in the shot as well. Okay, Chris, let's shoot across. It seems as though we're having a bit of a technical difficulty. We're going to go very quickly back across to Brent.
There we go. A lovely GNU having a good scratch and also scent marking his patch on quarantine. Lovely light behind him. Hopefully he's going to walk out and silhouette himself, so get ready with those screenshots. Or you're just going to prove me wrong, GNU. No, let's carry on having a scratch. Okay, well, we don't want to keep you away from those incredible wild dogs. I'm jealous. They're my favorite animal. But Brian, myself, James, Jamie, and Taylor will see you shortly on Fireside Chat.
So we're back with the dogs again. Apologies for that earlier. We just got a little bit of technical difficulty, but we figured it all out now. And maybe if we're lucky, we'll be able to get another shot of the wild dogs walking down the road with the beautiful blue and mauve sky and the moon. The moon is hidden away at the moment, though, behind a big knob thorn, so we can't see it. Right, let's catch up to them. We're not going to be able to stay with him for too much longer. We can go another 5 minutes or so, but then we're going to have to head on back. And also we've got quite a far way to head home, and we've still got to do the fireside chat as well. I'm going to do a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 dogs. Just double check. I think I've seen 10 so far. My goodness, I can't believe it. The last time that I saw both of these packs of dogs, the sand pack as well as the Toulon pack, they were massive. And I was chatting. I don't know what happened with the Toulon pack. There's mixed rumors, but some say that the pack split, the Toulon pack, when it was at 23, which makes sense because there was 7 adults, 6 youngsters, juveniles from the previous year, and then 10 young pups. So maybe that juvenile, the 6 sub-adults maybe split off, but they're only down to 13 now, or 15. A friend of mine saw them the other day, and she said she only counted 13 dogs. And then I'm trying to remember what the sand pack was at. It was definitely more than 10. It could have been at about 15 or so when I had last seen them. But this is, of course, a year and a half ago. This was quite some time. That sighting in particular that I had with the sand pack versus the Toulon pack. Now, Donna, you're wondering what the average lifespan of wild dogs is. So think of it very much like your dogs at home. They live for quite a number of years. I would say about 12 years is the average age, give or take, but life is stressful for a wild dog when you're not the top predator. Unfortunately, you can take a knock lions, leopards, hyenas, especially if you're a wild dog on your own. A hyena could potentially be a threat, but in a pack like this, one hyena stands no chance. The poor hyenas get terrorized. They really are down in the bottom of the food chain. And then, of course, they're persecuted. They used to be persecuted heavily by humans, with these dogs coming in and taking over and killing lots and lots of stock. But let's keep up with them. Let's catch up to them again. They're still looking for something. They haven't seen anything yet, but if they keep going, they're definitely going to hit some impala. I saw many of them as we were down here. There's a couple still lagging behind, but they'll catch up to the rest of the group. Oh, and it'll be a nightmare to try and follow them, even moonlight at the moment. You know what it's like off-roading in these conditions with the long grass. But they've gone into a trot, or some of them have. And the others will come up from behind in just a moment. They're not quite wasting their time. They're doing a bit of scent marking too as they go along. But it's just amazing to see how far these animals can really move. Tom, what a fun, lovely question. You've asked if the wild dogs howl at the moon. And just thinking about that, I haven't heard of, dogs howling, or haven't heard dogs howling at anything for such a long time, being out in the bush. But no, they don't. Wild dogs are relatively quiet. you often hear that sort of high-pitched chitter-chatter that they do when they greet each other, or when they bring food back to a den site, for instance, to the youngsters. They get very excited. They do bark, but it's quite a deep, different type of bark. Now, okay, we need to keep up with them again. They're disappearing. No, but I would love it if something were to happen and they were to howl at the moon tonight. Would be a very good night too. Light. Okay, if they do go off-road here, we're not going to follow them anymore. I don't think we're going to be able to off-road down into this drainage line. Let me just go up a little further. Pretty as now you've asked if wild dogs get along with other packs of wild dogs. Now they're going away. Okay, let me just see if this one is up above, just up top here. If it's not, then we're going to call it the end of the sighting. It's now very dark. A little bit too dark, and I also need to start heading home. Yep, that's the end of it, but it's pretty cool though. They've gone down here. We can follow up in the morning. Oh no, there's one more in the road. So no, they don't. Definitely not if they're two different packs. They get quite anxious with each other, and like I said, I had a sighting where they chased each other around quite a bit. So just letting, there's a guy behind us, but I don't think he realizes that there's a wild dog on the road. So we'll give the animals right of way, and we'll see where he's going to take us. Yes, go that way. Go in there, wild dog. Now I'm just going to pull off here, and we'll watch him. But oh, there we go. We've got the moon and the wild dog. There's the moon and the wild dog. Perfect. And just rising above the marula tree as well. Now he's waiting for the rest. I think this is the alpha. You can see he's just got the very tattered ears. He looks worn. He's waiting for the rest of them to come running up behind him. They've gone veering off elsewhere. They went towards the Arathusa Lodge, which is a good spot. They might find a couple of antelope around there. But while we wait for him to decide which path he's going to take, no, he's going to follow us. There he goes. Bye-bye, boy. Oh, no, he's going to stand very kind right next to the car. Look at him, he's right here. This is amazing. I could just about lean out and touch him. He's so close. Not that I'd want to touch a wild dog. I think they're very stinky creatures. And I'm glad I'm not downwind of them. It's not my favorite smell, and off he goes. He's obviously realized that the rest of the pack have gone down into the distance. And well, there he goes. With the sun, last of the light fading away. What an incredible sighting. What a great way to spend a Saturday. I think it was pretty cool. But we need to go now. Bye-bye, wild dogs. We'll see them soon, hopefully. Maybe we'll come check again in the morning. But let's go back this way. Now, we've again got to do just a small amount of racing around. Just because I found myself quite a far away from camp, and I do need to get back in time for fireside chat. Actually, come on, dogs. Come on, the airstrip is here. Right here. I just want to see. There's so many impala. Oh, look down there. Can you show them just quickly? It's far away, but you might be able to see their sort of silhouettes moving. Look at all those impala. Hundreds of them. There's the 124 that we had yesterday, if you remember the game that we played. They are here. I don't know if those dogs have picked up on them yet. I can't see them anymore. Hang on, I can smell them. Where are they? Now I'm starting to pick up that very, very sweet smell, but maybe now I'm downwind of them. Oh, and it's a pity that we don't have the light on our side, because even if they were to come here, it's going to be very, very, very tricky. Okay, wild dogs. Let me just double check. No, we're staying. There's a dog that's right here. We can, Kirst, can we do infrared with our camera? We can, hey? Do you know how to do that, Herman? Herman's going to figure it out, but I'm just thinking we can view them if we put the camera into infrared. We don't have an infrared. Oh, no, we don't. We don't have the light. Ah, okay, that's a pity. I just want to quickly check, because these dogs are right here. And even if we just sit from a distance and watch it. Come this way. Andy and Julia are wondering if, like the big cats, do the wild dogs hunt at night? Not typically, but tonight the moon is almost a full moon, so it's going to give off a lot of light, so they'll most likely continue, and that's why they haven't settled down just yet. But they're going the wrong way. This male has just gone back down here again. I think he's looking for the rest of the pack. My boy, they went towards the lodge. Obviously you don't know about the buffet that's there. He's far, there he is. But if he literally goes another 200 yards, oh no, they're coming slowly, they'll pick up on these impala. Like I said, if they do run towards that area, there they go, they're making their move now, going in the right direction. We're not going to get close, we're going to have to watch from a distance. The rest of the dogs are coming. They don't do very well. We're not going to put a spotlight on them, but I'll make an exception. We'll just follow them from far away, seeing as though we've got the moon, so they've got a bit of light. But no spotlights, nothing like that on these dogs, not even the LEDs. Look, he's getting excited, and he's going the right way. Let's turn around quickly. Let's make sure our vehicle's the right way. He's waited very patiently, very patient male. I don't know if I would have put up with that. This is just so exciting. Kirst, is it alright if I stay with him for a little bit? Not sure. Okay, we'll just stay with him for a little bit longer. I'm being a bit naughty, like I said, because the fireside chat is starting soon. But I don't know if I can leave this. This is just fantastic. Right, guys, now go towards the windsock, go to the right, and you will spot them. I think they know. I think they know that there's something there. No, not that way. Go to the airstrip. The only problem is that there's all the crowned lapwings I can hear yapping away now. And if those dogs go barging through there, those birds are going to give away their presence almost automatically. Here you go. You can see they're listening. Whether they've heard those young lambs making the sort of social sounds that they normally do is a possibility. Get the impala. Obviously, I love the impala too. However, I think it's important that one of our most endangered species that we're so fortunate to see every now and then gets a meal too. And you'll notice the quality is going to disappear slightly just because I can't put any more light on them, and it is not very dark now. We're still able to see what's going on. I can just hear another car. Sounds like it's coming down the airstrip. Oh, the dogs are coming past us again. And we're just going to hang back now. We'll just make sure we give them the upper hand. Can you, I think, increase the ISO? There you go, I've just spotted the dogs. There's another vehicle that's just realized that they're there. I'm just sitting quietly, I'm just listening. There's another vehicle that's joined the sighting, but we'll all sit quietly in the dark. We won't stay with them, and now we're trapped. Now we've got wild dogs in every road, so we can't go anywhere. They're still deciding. They're here, they're behind us. There's one right next to us, but it'll be very dark to see, I think. Come on, guys, you guys are so close. You are all so close. Here we go. These guys are on the right track, on the right-hand side. Yes, yes, carry on up that road. Go. Oh, now I can smell the wild dog. That's good. Somebody's taken charge and said, right, I want to go this way. Let's have a look at them running down the road. Oh my goodness. I can't believe how close we are to these dogs. This is crazy. They're right next to us. Look at this. Hello. Me and my wild dogs. My wild dog pack. My homies. Right here. Not many people get to say this. Doggies, I wish you good luck on all your adventure. There goes Limpy Lou, the wild dog, off on a run now. They're running away. There they go. Off Off they go down the road. Somebody's obviously been chatting to them saying, hey, there's impala up this way. Well, maybe they understood me. Come on, don't get left behind. Off you go. There's a sub-adult being chased by one of the adults. I'm still thinking. It's now getting very, very much dark, so I doubt we're going to follow them any further. Just because the light is getting really, really bad, and obviously the quality is disappearing or getting worse now. There we go. So we'll let them go on their adventure and continue and wish them the best of the luck and hope that they get a big impala ram or maybe two. Isn't that wonderful? What a great way to end the day. Okay, we need to carry on zooming. Let's go. Bye, doggies. Off you go. Have a lovely day. Right, time to leave, but wonderful. I'm glad we stayed for a little bit longer. Very, very cool sighting. And I'm sure if they go that way, they're quite sneaky because they're going to miss these crowned lapwings as well. So possibly they've planned it this way. They would have heard the lapwings shouting about. Yeah, it's very dark now. Larry, that's my favorite comment that I've received today. Larry says that it almost looked like the wild dogs had adopted me. At least somebody wants me in their life. Not just joking, I'm being very dramatic, of course. But yes, it was quite nice to be sitting just a couple of feet away from one of, like I keep saying, the most amazing animal, the African painted wolf. It really is breathtaking being able to do what we do here at safariLIVE every single day. It doesn't get much better than that. I haven't heard any snorting of the impala just yet, because I can imagine if all 124 of them give alarm calls, we'll definitely hear it over the sound of the engine. I just want to sit and watch from here and just see all of those impala racing around. You can see them. It's very difficult. I don't think you'll be able to see them. I can just see tiny little silhouettes, but they're not running. They're still relatively relaxed. Oh, sun, just come up for 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes, please. Such a pity. Oh, well, at least the sighting that we did will be something very, well, exciting to follow up on in the morning. I'll definitely be coming back here, I think. I'd like to see if they made a kill. Perhaps they chase something around tomorrow morning. Let me just call the sighting in and say that I left them. Just watching those Mahlolwa from a distance. They're mobile up towards the southern end of the rope. It's obviously a negative lock now. Right, there we go. You would have heard that I call block. So typically if you have a cheetah sighting, if you have wild dog sighting, if you have young cubs, anything like that, as the sun sets, we would have called it a while ago, but because we weren't putting any lights on and no one was particularly taking any photos, this is where it becomes difficult when you are driving guests, is because everybody would want to snap away, they'd be using their flash, and we don't want that with diurnal animals. Not that I think it would affect the dogs so much, but you start giving away your presence. So like what we did there, sitting completely lights off, is not a problem. We're lucky we're able to crank that light set up to be able to just give you a little view of them, which is exactly what we did just then. Now we're going to race back. We're racing back to Juman. Quite a far drive to do, so I'm going to have to, well, yes, I'm going to have to do some brainting. I think we call it brainting, don't we, Kirst? Is that a thing? If you braint on home, you race on back. We can make something like that. I think we should call it brainting. Just while he's not here, then he comes back to work, then we'll pretend that he never said anything. Oh, I'm teasing. Brent's now decided that he gives me the most nonsense in camp, so, and I try and give it back to him, but I'm not. I think it's got to do with age. I think you get wiser as you get older, as Brent is now maturing in life. And I'll catch up. I suppose you've got to learn from the best. So he's a good master at teasing. So maybe I'll pick up some some good tips there on things to do, and I'll test them on my brother when I get home, because I mean, what else are you supposed to do to your siblings? And my mom and my dad for all the teasing that they did to me while I was growing up. Pay back. Right, let's get some more light here. Oh, I'm so excited. That was so cool. That was really, really amazing. What a highlight of the day. I was feeling a little bit sad. Any animals. It was really, really amazing. What a highlight of the day. I was feeling a little bit sad that I wasn't get any animals. I was worried that we were just going to be on the birds, and then the warthogs that we had in the pre-show. That was literally my tribe. Oh, and one kudu. That was it. That was all that we had seen, in about 15 birds or something silly, and Mildred. So that was what a really, really wonderful way to actually end the afternoon, especially just before the fireside chat, which is happening just now. So we're not going to end right with me. We're going to head across in a moment to the fireside chat where James is back. How happy are all of you? Mr. Henry is back on home. He got back this afternoon, so he'll be there. Brent, of course, will be there. Jamie will be there. Tristan will be around. I just ate a bug. And we go. I thought I was going to get away with that today. That didn't work on this road. Just waiting for confirmation to see when the fireside chat is going to be ready, but they should be almost there. Probably everyone's doing their makeup, you know, trying to look good, brushing the hair, that type of thing. Brent is probably straightening his hair. Giving him as many gears as I can, but I'm going to say goodbye to you just for a short while. I'm going to race on back, but I'll see you shortly at the fireside chat.
Well, welcome to a very sad affair that we're going to definitely celebrate, though. Of course, we've let everyone know that unfortunately my other half on the vehicle, the other killer bees, is going to be leaving. So there's the person to best explain his reasons for leaving and why is Brian himself. So to the man of the hour.
Hello everyone, as you know, I'm Brian the cameraman. Bad news, as I said, folks, the time has come for me to move on from Wild Earth. It might not be what you think. The ugly truth of it is that I have a neurological disorder that results in me sleepwalking every day of my life. Every night I'm waking up, walking around, doing silly things until all hours. Brent's seen me.
We've seen the videos. It is quite silly.
Brent hasn't even seen videos. He saw me firsthand fighting the darkness.
I remember. I forgot about that. Yeah, it was quite scary.
So, with Wild Earth expanding and moving to new and exciting locations, the chances are if I moved with, I would sleepwalk out of control. And who's to say that I wouldn't have a bit of an accident or come up short with a hyena or a lion while I'm walking around in my sleep. The latest event, really, that caused me to make this decision was a couple of weeks ago. James Hendry actually heard me walking around our courtyard in the middle of the night. I woke up. How I understand it is I woke up going, what's going on here? Why is there so much sand in my bed? And there was plenty of sand in my bed. My room was disturbed with slops and all sorts of sandals all over the show. And I could see that I'd been walking around. So unfortunately, even though it's been such a difficult decision to make, I had to make it. My safety is going to go out the window if I carry on sleepwalking like I am. So I'm making the steps now. I'm trying to make the moves to see if I can get help, see if I can seek proper medical attention. Who knows? Maybe the future is bright for me at Wild Earth again. You never know.
So. We hope so.
I might be back before you know it. So, yeah, that's the story, folks. That's my position at the moment.
And this is very sad. And of course, paramount is Brian's health. So he's going to go try sort that out. But we're going to move on to some happier times. And we've got a little clip prepared for you. And it is just a few, because there are so many killer bee moments.
Yep.
But we've got two to show you. And one is very, very, very special. I think Brian and I literally were vibrating with excitement. So let's go have a look at the clip.
The new cubs, the cubs.
Ow. Quick click.
The thumb worked. The thumb worked.
Okay, do you copy?
The missing cubs have arrived. There they are. Isn't this wonderful? Brian's magic thumb. Yay! Isn't this amazing? Killer bees.
Killer bees.
Oh, and Brian's magic thumb. Yes. But from Brian and myself, and of course, we cannot forget the lion cub thumb. So here it comes, the lion cub thumb that brought the luck. We're gonna say good night and absolutely amazing. We'll see you tomorrow morning, but quickly, one last view of that incredible Nkahuma pride. Wasn't that exciting? We had a little bit of a sort of soft moment and a bit of brutal action. And as it was very difficult for us to choose a couple of clips, but those are those. That lion cub thumb was something special.
It was outrageous, actually.
I think, how long had they been missing for? 3 days?
No, longer. It turned out to be like just on a week, 10 days. It was something ridiculously long, and it happened to be that the day that I drew that magic thumb to bring them back,
It was very, very special. It was absolutely amazing.
Timing is everything, folks. Timing is indeed everything.
And then, of course, I don't know actually how we even got to the spot to see that lion fight. I can't really remember. I do know Brian. I've had to put Brian through a few thorn trees.
Yeah, Brent drove me through a wall of trees, many, to get there.
But it was worth it. We got to see
indeed,
those lions fighting. Now, of course, as much as I would like to hog Brian for the last Killer Bee drive, he has obviously shared some incredibly special moments with all of us who work here. So we've got a video prepared of Brian and Jamie's special moment.
Hello, everybody. On our live safari, I would like to introduce you to 3 identical little lion cubs. The first time we are properly seeing lion cubs from the Nkahuma Pride in a very long time. And this is what makes safariLIVE so incredibly special. When we can follow a story from the end of one chapter to the beginning of the next.
That was a very, very special sighting. Yeah. So let's jump across to Jamie to get her thoughts.
That was, it was really difficult to pick one of our favorite moments, but that will always be special to me because that was the first time we'd seen those Nkahuma cubs, and it looked as though we jumped out of the car and quickly arranged them perfectly, symmetrically, with paws on either side and then one in the middle. And I just remember that excitement. We've been waiting for so long. And I felt it was such a nice build-up to the months that we shared after that, when we were filming the Nkahumas. And we spent so much time with them and those cubs afterwards that it felt like an appropriate clip to choose.
Yeah.
Not an easy decision.
No. There are so many great sightings that I've shared with Jamie and Brent and all the other presenters out here that, it's so difficult to choose the best sighting. It's 2 years worth of filming out here. It's very difficult. Exceptionally.
Yeah, it's imagine it. We used to cook our own food. Do you remember that?
We did.
Yeah.
Apparently you make an amazing mac and cheese.
I make the best mac and cheese. I make the best macaroni you've ever eaten in your life.
I agree. It is layered to perfection. Mushrooms, peppers, bacon.
I can't believe I never experienced that.
It was good.
It was actually devastated.
Oh, I'm sorry,
we could eat it for 3 days. It was so big as well, so we didn't have to cook dinner again. But of course, and now probably the most scary and most riveting experience that Brian had here was with James Henry. So let's go have a look at that.
Brian, do you think it spotted us?
I don't know. I've lost sight of it again.
There it is. Everybody, there's a crested francolin. It was approaching us. Brian, were you nervous?
I was scared.
Brian says he was very scared, everyone. We're very close to it, only about 10 meters, 30 feet. The Franklin seems to be relaxed now, but one never knows with a Franklin, do you, Brian? No, at any stage it could turn, bare its fangs, and come running towards us.
Do we have an escape route?
We have. I've spotted an escape route, Brian. But you know, with a Franklin, often the only thing to do is to bop it on the head with a stick as it comes past.
It's gone. There it is.
Have you got it?
It's gone. It's moving away.
Whew. Oh, everyone, that was close.
That's one of many that have been, and I think for me, Brian's ability to transfer my attempts at humour onto the camera, with his commentary and with his movement in camera, have been exceptional. I have, I think from a humour point of view, we combine very well, and I'm actually quite devastated that you're leaving, to be honest. I was thinking about it today as I arrived back here. And, you know, each cameraman you work with has got different talents and different things that you gel with. David, for example, in the tent just shouts at me all the time and somehow gets away with it. I'm not sure how. We'll have to remedy that. But you certainly made my drives massively entertaining. I've seldom laughed like I have with you. And I'm going to miss that very much indeed.
Thank you, James.
So I hope you got some of that humour as well. And of course, I suppose we should probably try and make a little video and song before the end.
Indeed, we're going to have to.
May it not actually be the end.
As long as it includes the fearsome crested Franklin.
Well, you know, they're not common around here.
Yeah, they are quite fearsome. So.
And they are fearsome, and we don't want to take chances while we're on foot.
Definitely not.
Yes. So I do fervently hope that you will be back here sometime very soon.
Thank you, James.
Yes.
You never know, folks.
Well, yes, quite.
The future is bright, no matter which way we look at it.
There we go. That's it. Right. Nice, positive attitude. We are going to miss Brian dearly. And there's one more person who still wants to share their special experiences with Brian. So let's have a look at Taylor's clip.
This is amazing. This is the closest that I've ever been to zebra, wild zebra, on foot before. Have a look. They're even walking towards us now. I know I keep saying that this is amazing, it's spectacular, but I've been working in the bush now for a couple of years, and this is the first time I've ever experienced anything like this. This will be one of the best sightings. It's going to be a very, very hard sighting to top. Wow. That's all I have to say about this, is wow, wow, wow. Well, Brian and I are smiling from ear to ear, still, because of that experience that we've just had was absolutely exhilarating.
Okay, so wasn't that wonderful? I, of course, this morning went and undid all the habituation work by trying to stalk them, and the zebras ran away, careering across quarantine. But let's go chat to Taylor about her time with Brian.
Oh my goodness, what a privilege the last 6 months to have spent it with this man. We've had many songs and done lots of silly things and bizarre conversations, but that I'll definitely remember and I'll miss, and we'll have to come and visit you. But like I think everybody says, I don't think this is forever. I think that this is just a temporary situation. But my favorite part about that entire sighting was the fact that when the stallion came over and greeted the mares, and he just wasn't bothered by us at all. That was just unbelievable. It gave me goosebumps. I don't know how you felt about that.
No, that was an incredible sighting. Honestly, that's the closest I've ever been to wild zebra on foot, and to watch a split herd meet up, and they just went about their business as though we weren't there, not more than maybe 30 meters away. It was cream of the crop. It was a great sighting.
Yeah. Different. Not quite leopards and lions and brawling and all that type of thing, but just something a little bit different. It was lots of fun.
No.
We have some questions for you, Brian.
No.
Oh, dear. Now, this is one that has caused a little amusement around camp before. No. But Paul would like to know, are your parents the world-famous performing couple, the Jabez?
Ladies and gentlemen, no. Sorry to disappoint you, but I am not related to Derek and Beverly Jabez. Hopefully they are making a speedy recovery after their last little incident with the buffalo. But no, I have a mom and dad named Anne and Trevor Jabez.
And another question from Tanith. And she'd like to know, how long have you been involved with the Wild Earth family and with Wild Earth?
Ooh. Well, now we are looking at about 4 years and 4 years, 5 months. I'd also give or take a few. So I've been on safariLIVE for just over 2 years. I did a year in the Kalahari. I did about 6 months in Thorny Bush. Yeah, I've been around for a while.
It's going to be very, very hard. It's like your favorite comfy chair is leaving. Yeah, so it's going to be very difficult for us. Sorry,
A comfy chair.
I was going to say, I don't think anyone's ever sat on you before. They say, oh, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, let's take a seat. Brian's a good spot.
And we have one more surprise.
Ooh.
A surprise clip that actually I didn't know about. I don't think any of us knew about. So this is a great surprise for all of us. So I'm very excited to have a look at it. So let's all enjoy.
Hi, my name is Brian. I am from Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm here on location at Thorny Bush as a cameraman. Our camp is kind of in the middle of nowhere, out in the open.
Coming to you live from the DRC.
I'm excited. The excitement's in the air.
You delivered the line so deadpan, like, come on.
Okay, I'm ready.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's another tough day for the Wild Earth crew, and out we are headed to find all the things.
No lions, no leopards, just likes.
I aim to be one of few, rather than one of many. The desire to be legendary. I do whatever that's truly necessary. This is a revolution, I'm revolutionary. I got the fire in my belly, I'm ready. Even if baggage may be too heavy to carry. Go ahead and throw any challenges at me. They ain't no stopping me until I'm 6 foot under and buried. You can't keep a dead man down. I turn my life around as I roll from nothing to something.
This is the best job in the world. I can't actually believe it. It's so damn exciting. What a privilege to be out here in the bush doing this every day. I'm in awe at the savagery of the wild. Thank you.
Sunday November in Boston, we went to get up face where there were some zebras. Zebras sitting by the pan, there were some zebras. Zebras sitting by the pan with some big.
About your role as the thumb and what it means to you.
The thumb for me is a way of bringing some sort of joy to someone's life out there. One person chuckles or goes, yes, that's cool, I'm doing my job.
Oh, whatever.
I'm done, guys.
Well, as we're all going to be very sad, Brian, we're going to miss you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so
We're
much.
really going to miss you.
Massage now.
Oh, yeah. What a treat. What a treat it has been to be out here. What an absolute privilege it has been to film and be involved with everything that this is. I've learned so much from everybody around me. I've grown so much in my time here with Wild Earth. Spectacular.
Now we're calling on. Oh, Taylor's now, James, in your absence, been taking on a bit of a rap role.
As you were.
No,
But you've taken over.
No. I think she should be included. Jamie and I are not. Or I might say word at the end, or something like that. But so a bit of a request from Final Control for a 30-second or so rap Big
We're ready
Fox
for this. We're ready.
to end.
Too much.
Taylor, you're going to start though.
Word. Word.
Brian, we're really sad to see you go.
Word.
Don't go, stay here. Oh no.
Word.
Please don't go. Please don't go.
Word.
Please don't go.
Sit on your chair like you're a big king, but you are a big king, so keep the beats going. Will you rap? Will we call you? Will you send us WhatsApps? How are we gonna talk to you when we... Bye-bye.
Nothing on the time on the WhatsApp, send us all the messages. Bye. We'll see you next time. Gonna come back. Are we on
And more is